He goes to visit this 16-year-old in person for a quote-unquote interview. That's the premise, is he's going to interview her. Well, they're crazy, they're insane, they're lying, they're crazy and insane. That should be very worrying. And he's sitting on a trove of private information and conversations that could make Cameron look very bad and stupid. Even more so than his public content. I find that hard to believe, personally. Me, personally, I find that a tough sell. Surely he's going to have the evidence he's looking for this time. Right, guys? Surely. He's got a really big, a comically big filing cabinet and library out back that he needs to just flick through, okay, guys? We're here to talk about CameronF305, okay? Do we know who CameronF305 is? So he made a content cop on iDubbbz, like last week, or this week, whatever. And it was just total dog. It was obviously dog. You could have told it was dog from just glancing at it. You didn't really even need to watch the video to know it was dog, because it was obvious what it was going to be. It's the same shit everyone says about iDubbbz and Nisa, just repurposed into an hour and 30-minute video. So okay, I've heard all of this before. You've got nothing original, interesting to say. Clearly, I literally don't know why anyone would say it. It's like the content nuke in many ways. Like the content nuke. Again, I keep getting for rating the content cop on H3 a 7 out of 10, which I didn't, by the way, rate a 6 out of 10, just to be totally clear. However, the reason I do that is because it had a limited scope. It was like a 20 or 30-minute video that responded specifically to things that were about the people in the video and made points from their perspective that you couldn't really get from another perspective. I'm not going to rate this video anything above a 5 out of 10 because it is something you can get from everyone else. Everyone has said this stuff. We all know it. We've all said it a million times. We've all said it a million times. We all know that Anissa is an annoying whore. Okay? I've said that myself many times. We all know that iDubbbz doesn't understand empathy. Okay? Everyone said that. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that iDubbbz just think empathy means when no N-word. We all know that. Everyone said this. It's not new. He's a cuck. He's a cuck. How about we say he's a... Guys, remember that clip of Anissa saying that... What was it saying about the Nazis making good inventions or something? That's just not true. What? God, whoa! 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 I love being force-fed the same dog slop that I've heard repeated by 500 other people before. Whoa! Anyway, I want to take a quick look at the intro because this isn't just, you know, seething at the fact that mediocre, retarded, thoughtless content takes off crazy. This is a great lesson in just like spotting desperate, like degenerate retards. It really is, because it's just so obvious. So we can take a look at the iDubbbz content cop. We can immediately be told that everyone could have seen something like this coming, frankly. If not an allegation, then something equally embarrassing.
Silence means something. It means that we would like...
So immediately, let's just start picking this apart. Let's really start picking this apart. In fact, no, let's watch the intro once through first, and then we'll start picking it apart.
Something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship. Stop it, I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I'm any better than any of these people that I was making content videos on.
What we do here is go back.
So, okay, I literally can't watch another second of that without analyzing it because it's genuinely painful. So, let's start picking this apart. So let's think, okay? Content cop intro. That hits the base outline, right? How has Content Cop been used since iDubbbz stopped using it? There was... I can't even remember. What's his name? Dogpack 404. Dogpack 404 did it. Okay. Soggy Cereal did it. But as much as I hated Soggy Cereal's Content Cop video, he only did it as a response to Dogpack. It was mocking. Dogpack did his Content Cop thing. And so Soggy Cereal, as a response, because Dogpack is acting so poorly, was doing one back. So it kind of made sense. If this had just been Content Cop iDubbbz, maybe you can make the argument this is fine. It's fine, whatever. But no, the moment this video succeeded in any way, Cameron was immediately like, oh, I guess people want me to be the new Content Cop. I'm going to make more Content Cops. I'm going to make it my series now. And it's like the most despicable, off-putting skinwalker, reptilian, like just lizard behavior. Just disgusting lizard behavior that should set alarm bells off for anyone. Like, really, you're gonna... So you do this video, so people can forgive Content Cop iDubbbz. That's fine. You should it's okay to forgive that. I can allow people to forgive that. You know, it's on iDubbbz, using the Content Cop to go after iDubbbz kind of makes sense. But if when that succeeds and you're like, no, I'm gonna do Content Cop, bro, you are not. I understand you feel good about this video. I think iDubbbz is overrated even in its peak, but you are not peak iDubbbz. You are not peak iDubbbz. This entire video is you regurgitating points you've seen in the other commentary streams and on Reddit. And still, it is nowhere near peak iDubbbz. Peak iDubbbz actually he did have some kind of original thought. He did have some decent ideas. Going and saying the N-word to Tanamongo, that was fucking epic. That was freaking awesome. That was awesome. And the rant about how all of it's okay and or none of it's okay, that's like, it's actually a bit edgy. It was actually a bit edgy. And he introduced new slurs into popular discourse. Like, who was saying the Z head slur before that video? That was totally lost to a previous generation before that video. Let's be real here. That really popularized it. So there was some edgy and subversive stuff in it that was actually kind of good and had some thought to it. So it was kind of, there was something to it. You know, it's not the best stuff in the world. It's not like as good as everyone says it is, but it had something to it. There was a bit of meat on the bone. This is the most vapid dog shit in the world. This is truly vapid dog shit. Truly. I challenge someone to watch this video. Someone with above 95 IQ, I mean, not like the average commentary, you know, like trailer trash, 45-year-old hag, nasty, you know, transgender person like Leroy something. Someone other than that, I challenge you to watch through this video and, like, enjoy it. You truly can't. It's like every moment, it's like, oh. It's just like the most lame, low-effort, surface-level, dipshit commentary fan engagement that you can possibly imagine with everything. It's, like, truly fucking stupid. Anyway, I was saying we were going to analyze the intro here, so let's get through that.
Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship. Stop it, I'm powerless. No.
So immediately, this should be setting something off.
Our silence means...
There's quite a... He's in quite... It seems like quite a nice place, a little bit bare. A little bit bare.
Something. It means that we would like...
It seems like it's in quite a big place here.
Stop it, I'm powerless. No, you have
we
a
got
ton
parents
of power.
got some decent
That's
money.
Exactly what you get for being filthy rich. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate whatsoever
Now,
on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if...
So here he is, he's doing this. He's like, oh, it's meant to be me. I'm meant to be the content cop.
I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I'm any better than any of these people that I was making content videos on.
What we do here is go back.
Now this is truly the soggy cereal thing. I understand. He was responding to someone. Okay, so I understand. I gave him some grace. I said, you know, Soggy Cereal's content cop intro sucks. It doesn't have the same energy as an iDubbbz one. The iDubbbz content cop intros, if they're rolling around in the dirt, it looks like they're actually throwing themselves at each other and getting hurt. You know, that's like the whole fun of it. Like when you remember the Anything for Views Max Mofo iDubbbz video where they dressed up like Mario characters and threw like burning cotton at each other and all this shit, and we're just like throwing bins at each other and just like actually hurting each other. Like that's what made it funny, was these people were actually fucking hurting each other and doing crazy shit. That's what made it. That's what actually made it good. It's not funny to do that bit, but you don't actually put any effort into it or put anything on the line for it. That's just cringe. Soggy Cereal did that. He had like this super clean wheelie bin, super cleaned out, where he'd obviously pressure washed it, scrubbed it down a million fucking times. You know, sat there for hours polishing this fucking wheelie bin just so that he can go and crawl into it and do this thing where he's like in the bin. But it's not funny if the bin's not dirty. It's funny when iDubbbz goes in the sewer because he's in a fucking sewer eating pickles. It's disgusting. It's not funny if you just get in a perfect, clean bin. There's no ways that it loses the value that it had. It loses the humor. It's just like a poor imitation. It's a lame imitation. You don't get what made it funny. You clearly just don't get it, and you're a skinwalker. You're trying to do the thing without doing the thing. And he does this exact same thing here, except I can't forgive it like in Soggy Cereal's case, because in this case, his whole thing is iDubbbz sucks now. I'm going to make an old iDubbbz video on new iDubbbz. So your old iDubbbz, it has to be an old iDubbbz video. You have to go hard. You can't do this gay pussyfooting bullshit. It's just obvious that it's not actually a genuine want to recapture that, or that comes from a place of understanding what made that content special, wanting to truly put that back out. It is clout chasing, skin walking, desperate, attention grabbing. That's what it is. It's a desperate attempt to capitalize on a moment without having to say anything original or come up with any decent ideas. So the content cop fucking sucked, first of all. So don't get it twisted. The video sucked anyway, so don't let any of the rest of it make you think that you shouldn't hate him for this alone. Now, there is a video I want to show you. I would love to be able to do a full review of this. I can't. However,
Hey
this is where we're going to sort of start our little profile of Cameron here. I can't review this video in full. He's like 16 or something here. And I can't bully kids, even if he's not a kid now. But this is a video where he talks about his suicide experience. And the story he tells is completely implausible. I'm just going to be totally honest. I know people don't like saying that. People don't like hearing that a lot of the time. The story he tells is completely implausible. He talks about how he, you know, and maybe it's actually true, and he was a teenager, and he's just missing out details because he's embarrassed or whatever. Not saying he totally lied, but the story is implausible. He claims to have attempted to hang himself by a ceiling fan with a belt, and he fell or something. It's like retarded. So he's got a long history online, is the main point there. He's got a long history of very embarrassing, dubious behavior, where he has been seeking attention in various communities through various methods. Now, this eventually did move on. He moved on from that so, you know, mental health content, and moved into the Yandere Simulator community. I'm sure we all know what Yandere Simulator is, don't we? If you don't, it's a video game, an indie video game, developed by one guy. It was started like 10 years ago, maybe even longer ago. And a bunch of YouTubers played it at first because it was like, it's a game called Yandere. It's about a Yandere. So a Yandere is an anime archetype of character that is a woman, a girl who is obsessed with usually the male lead. So obsessed that they're willing to like kill and do crazy stuff to be with this person, kill anyone that gets in the way, whatever. So they made a game called Yandere Simulator, this guy, and this was very popular with YouTubers, got a huge initial burst, where you play as a Yandere, obviously. It got a huge initial burst of popularity, got a bunch of funding from people wanting to play it. And the developer turned out to be like a complete lolcow, basically. He's a total freak, incel, lolcow, sped, who can't put a game together, and people just A-log the fuck out of him for being a terrible developer for like the last 10 years. Anyway, at some point in that process, CameronF305, our content cop, became the musician, I guess you'd say, the soundtrack composer for Yandere Simulator. He got a job. And as the Yandere dev guy, people call him Dev a lot of the time. I think he's actually named Alex, but people call him Dev. As Dev began getting into more issues, Cameron was just like out there riding for this guy non-stop. He was like he was not only paid to do the music, he was also like, you know, in the trenches on Reddit, on Discord, getting on Discord debates, whatever, defending Yandere Dev, making sure everyone knows that he's not a bad guy, okay? He's not a bad guy. And at some point during this, Yandere Dev became embroiled in a grooming controversy where basically there was this 16-year-old girl who had a pattern of running honeypot operations online, started speaking to Yandere Dev, and obviously he fell into the honeypot, as you'd probably expect from a guy like this. And I would say Cameron basically tried to downplay it all and make it seem like nothing really happened. Is essentially what was going on at the time. Now, unbeknownst to many people behind the scenes, Cameron started having a relationship, okay, with, well, not a full-blown dating relationship, but some kind of relationship with this 16-year-old who was being groomed by his boss. Cameron was 19 at the time. So we've got a clip here, and we'll probably watch some of FPS Diesel's video, and then we'll go watch some of the calls. We've got a little clip here just to pique your interest, and we'll start investigating the surrounding stuff on this and hear some of the private calls that got released, because they are crazy. Let me tell you, this guy is such a fucking freak. You have no idea some of this shit I've heard looking into this. So we're gonna give you a little teaser. I put this on Twitter earlier. This is him and the alleged victim discussing what happened between them.
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint, I was saying no, and I was scared, and that I didn't want to.
No, just in the sense of us having sex, and that can be argued because once I heard you say stop, I put you down. You were being nonverbal.
I don't think I was.
I'm telling you. Maybe I wasn't hearing correctly, but I'm telling you that I did not hear the word stop, and until I did, I put you down.
So maybe I wasn't hearing correctly, but I did not hear the word stop until I put you down. Guys, has anyone ever been in a situation where a woman has told them to stop doing something? You just haven't heard it the first couple of times, and then when you get pressed about it later, you just can't quite remember. Maybe you weren't hearing properly. Maybe you just weren't hearing properly. Has anyone ever been in a situation like, yeah, she was saying it in Chinese. She was clearly saying it in Chinese.
And I felt awful because you were like, once you like started like squirming a bit, I felt like
squirming? Bad. You're gonna call it squirming? I was hitting you.
Were you?
So I was hitting you. Were you? What sort of response is that? If someone says they were hitting me, and they weren't, I would be, were you? No, you weren't. That didn't happen. No, you weren't. What? Were you? Huh? What sort of response is that?
What the fuck? Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I don't know. Obviously I wasn't intending to do something bad to you. And I feel bad about it. But that's between us, and that's not going to be public.
Wow. That's not going to be public, he said. That's not going to be public. So we're going to pull up some of this Diesel video. And Diesel, I believe, also has a document that has a bunch of... I think it has a bunch of calls linked. I think. Yeah. So I've got the calls here. Okay. All right, guys. So let's put up this Diesel video. Let's watch a bit of this, and then we'll get into the extra audio clips and stuff. So we'll watch from about here.
Be critical, and I'll give him that.
Just 2
Other
seconds.
times he try and downplay what we were reading. And what I was reading out and showing to them is absolutely outrageous. So let me read some Snapchats between Dev and this minor he was grooming. Yandere Dev. I think about that sometimes. 17 is 94.4% of 18, so therefore being attracted to a 17-year-old girl is 94.4% okay. Later in the chat, Yandere Dev says, quote, so really the only thing for me to get out of this are lewd pictures and videos to fap to, end quote. To which the minor, Jelly, responds, quote, which I'll provide you if you promise to keep it secret. Yandere Dev responds, oh, heart emoticon. I would keep it a secret, heart emoticon.
I will say, the words lewd pictures does not specifically imply, because one thing I will say is like hentai is a thing. I'm not trying to like go like crazy here, but it's like that's like not uncommon and like I guess Discord communities to like share like NSFW artwork.
Yeah, but you're still not supposed to share it with a minor. That you can get.
I wouldn't really want to do that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying that's what he was doing. I'm saying that's what she was. She could have been offering, and that's kind of how it comes off. Because let's be real, I don't think you're out there sending like. I don't think you're commonly out there on the market sending and receiving and trading nude pictures with people there. I think you're working on a video game.
I'm back.
So I guess I'm trying to understand your interpretation of that message.
And that isn't even a clip, Chimp. I'll provide the calls for you all to go through yourself if you don't want to sit here and listen to me talk. All right? The guy was the go-between for Yandere Dev, pitching me on watching the response from Dev on stream later on in one of our talks.
I know that even if he does an interview that makes him look bad, it'll still help his image at this rate. Because if you think about it, like...
This is giving Kuihman defends Lolly. That's not true, because I don't... The idea that I defend Lolly is a fucking... It's like a retarded allegation, first of all. What does it even fucking mean? First of all. Second of all, it's not in any way the same thing, because this guy is literally sitting here saying, oh, this will help his reputation. This will help his reputation. I'm never going to go around and do fucking image rehab for some fucking retard who's posting about how much I like jerking off to picture little kids. Oh, let me help your image. Let me show you how to not seem like a total fucking freak. Like, yeah, let alone doing it when there's a real victim involved.
Transparency. I don't, and I think that would be great for your channel as well. It'd be a great look for you because...
You did that for Spinal BJ. I've never done that for Spinal BJ. I said, bro, listen, maybe if you had some interests other than Lolly, you'd be able to start dating, and you didn't listen, so...
Just the integrity, you know? So, I've always wanted something like that to happen, and even though I'm no longer associated with the project, I think it just would be beneficial and, quite frankly, retarded of him not to do.
All right. Well, I'm gonna need to cover this at the end of the month, so if something changes.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're as impartial as you've been with us, I'm fine if you get critical.
True, yeah, Spinal's image gets dragged through the mud every time he comes in stream chat. That's real.
Some funny shit.
No, I'm not gonna, like, I don't know, turn him into a soy jack or something if that's what you're worried about.
I mean, I've been able to enjoy a couple of Yandere Dev memes after this.
But,
I've enjoyed my Dota.
Yeah, get the...
Listen, there's literally hours of calls between Dev, Cameron, and myself. Admittedly, I played nice.
So this kid is like giddy at every moment that he's being like asked questions. He clearly wants to be involved so fucking badly. It's like the most blatant attention seeking in the world. He is just so giddy and excited.
But make no qualms about it, I am not a fan of any of these people. Right? There are hours of content here, and I have a huge doc linked below in case you're more of a reader. I just want the information to be out there, and I want to be transparent about what I did. I basically lied to get these people to open up to me. Yeah, I did. I lied to them to get them to be my friend. Whatever, I don't care. Yandere Dev is a piece of shit. Needless to say, back to Cameron. Cameron was quite involved, and he would piecemeal information to me as he did his little detective work as well. And the information he would piecemeal to me did direct me at certain
Persona
players.
5 music's appropriate here? What, investigating a bunch of pedophiles? Yeah, they're not pedophiles, that's a joke.
In the story, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a deliberate piecemealing of information. Now, at the end of September, he had left the Yandere Simulator project, right? And he didn't hear about this CSAM stuff until early October from Dev. So he tells me these things about how bad and dangerous Jelly is at the time, though he may have known it earlier in September, right? It really depends, and it's hard to know what exactly happened in those calls that I wasn't present for. Either way, in early October, I was put on to finding out about how Jelly was involved in all of these honeypotting for blackmail money operations. The problem is now that I have to re-look at this information, the lying and piecemealing of info makes this very difficult to parse, especially with some new information that has come into my lap. Cameron even admits in a call with me that he was afraid to be honest with me because of the level of respect he places on me. Which doesn't help any of this whatsoever, because now I have to look at everything Cameron has sent me with a grain of salt, thinking about
Diesel's explanation's kind of boring me to fucking tears right now. He's making this very funny story sound boring, so we need to move on. I was hoping to be able to smoke while he spoke, but instead we'll have to do it while I speak instead. So let's have a quick look at what's going on in here. So what we really care about here, we don't really give a fuck about him defending Yandere Dev, I'm going to be honest. As much as that is embarrassing, I don't really care. He left the project. He was fighting with the YouTuber who was exposing Yandere Dev. So, he goes to visit this 16-year-old in person for a quote-unquote interview. That's the premise, is he's going to interview her. He goes to visit her. And that's when they allegedly have sex.
What could you...
So, when is this call from? This is 5/5. Okay, cool. And then we had in my Discord, there should be... Sorry. I thought Diesel's video was going to be... Gonna give attention... Capture attention for a little bit longer, but it didn't. Yeah, here we are. Okay.
And you would...
So, around the time Diesel's video comes out, Cameron calls into Diesel's stream. And we're going to listen to this one, first of all. So this is from about a year ago. And he's totally silent off this stream until he calls Diesel offline again. Like about 10 days ago.
I couldn't believe who's calling me. It's Cameron. This cannot be... This is ridiculous. You know you're live, right?
Oh, I'm you're live streaming?
Yes.
Yo! Fuck. I watched your video. It was good. I mean, obviously there was
Cameron, I raked you over the coals.
I know. I mean, for good reason. For good reason.
You know, when I got when I saw that you were calling me, I did not expect you to come in and compliment me.
You think I'm? I mean, I keep it real. It was a good video. You were fair. I mean, there were some things in there that I obviously disagreed with when it pertained to me, but you were also fair on other people in that video, which I can't argue with. And your overall conclusion is something I agreed with.
So this guy, the whole time, he's constantly trying to run defense for this jelly person who's the honeypotting teenager, trying to downplay the bad shit she's done. He is constantly, after he like flips sides. He flips from the underage dev side to the grooming victim side. Both times he's downplaying and being incredibly dishonest. But you'll see, because the dishonesty does not end there. Trust me. The dishonesty does not end with his downplaying of his friend's misdeeds.
The overall conclusion on me. Well, some of it. I don't know.
You realize what kind of thing you put yourself in the middle of, right? Like, I don't...
Yeah, no, obviously I don't... I'm not proud of it. This is not something I'm happy about. I don't like that it happened. I don't like that I was in that kind of situation. Holy shit. Like, it's something I regret. I mean, I've told you this in private. I was acting out of it. I was not in a good place, and that isn't really, you know, I should have had a lot more self-control when it came to how I handled it.
Wow.
But I've been working on my own little thing, and looks like you've come into some similar information that
Okay, I'd speed through this.
So you want to address...
I'll show you it off stream.
You gotta be fucking psychotic.
So he's like alluding to off-stream evidence.
You think I didn't record all of our calls? Of course I did.
Yep. I said it in the video.
This wrong way. I know how you think.
So he's just doing this embarrassing blowing smoke up his ass act.
Like,
you'll see more of this in a bit.
As far as I'm able to tell, right, the only person, I mean, it's between you for the and stuff, right? Because I really don't give a shit if you steal music. That's whatever.
I mean, I don't, but whatever, right?
Right. But it's like,
yeah, wait 1 minute. I'll make you guys hate this guy.
And now here you are having to...
Fuck CameronF305. We listen to D4NNY.
Hey, I just want to say goodbye. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye.
This was raw as fuck. Anyway, yeah, so he's again, I just need to show you guys that we're not gonna play his whole fucking music video. I needed to show you guys the skinwalking. Raping Kanye and fucking skinwalking Joji and his just like with his awful tattoos showing his horrible fucking it's just like everything about it just makes me go crazy, man. It's just like, so annoying. Anyway, yeah, we were listening to this bit, so he keeps going now.
It's her fault. It's her fault you're being accused of rape.
I won't. I know it is. I will say in public she never outright said that. In private she did, and she shouldn't have, and I'm pissed about it.
Here's the thing, Cam. She doesn't need to just say it outright, right? Like you can say it in a way without saying it to deny.
I hate him so much more now. That was the goal, and you should.
Culpability, right? Plausible deniability.
Sure, and I don't understand why she did what she did. I do from her explanation, but that doesn't mean it was a valid explanation in my opinion. I'm pissed about it. I don't know why the hell she thought that was the drastic measure to take.
It bothers me.
It's a pattern of behavior for her that I didn't realize until much later on. That I definitely should have realized a lot sooner. But
Diesel locks in a minute, trust me.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do this video to address that allegation in particular.
The call people are trying to take that as an admission. There's no fucking admission in there.
Admission that you put yourself on her and that it wasn't consensual.
No, they're trying to say that it's an admission to rape. There's no admission in there. I outright say in there that I didn't break it. They're trying to say that I broke the law. It's an admission that I raped a girl or something. There is no admission in
Okay,
there.
so maybe I'm being charitable here, but the argument is you're 19.
Yes,
she's
this is the same guy.
16.
Yeah.
For some people, they say that's just. I know she's 17 now. Wouldn't you have sex with her?
I'm not gonna say whether or not I did.
Oh, really? Are you fucking stupid?
No, Cameron.
You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You said to me, by the way, you watched the video. You said to me in the call that you were traveling to see family for Thanksgiving.
It was AI.
It was AI?
It was AI. It
Are you really going to be stupid on stream right now? Because this is not going to be a good look.
was a robot.
No,
It's not going to be a good look. We're looking at it now, and it's not looking good.
He's doing it on purpose.
So trying to avoid answering the question whether he fucked the 16-year-old. He always spins it, by the way. He keeps trying to spin it as 17, 19. Apparently, he was lying to people in DMs, telling them it was 17, 19.
Sorry.
In like the last couple of days.
I'm on. I'm working on my video right now, and I'm in a really goofy mood. So this is
Cameron, you're being accused of a felony, okay? And now
But I
here you
didn't
are
commit.
talking to me about this on a stream with like 100 people.
I didn't know this was gonna be a stream. I didn't realize you were streaming.
Did you or did you not watch the video?
Well, you said you acknowledged at the start that he was streaming, so you've known the whole time you've been in the call.
I watched the relevant parts for me. I had to skim through it a little bit.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I watched the relevant parts.
Cameron, you can sit here and not talk about, right? For people, what I was going to say earlier, for people involved in this, they feel that a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, which you say she turns 17 in February, which means when you have sex
Yes,
with her,
correct. So it's not just an age thing. You know, 1916 isn't really that crazy. You know, there are plenty of ways 1916 can like not be a big deal. However, I think there's something I don't know quite what to say about it. I don't know quite what the wording is. I can only find strange, and that's not a very solid critique. But to be meeting a girl who's 16 at age 19 through the fact that your boss is grooming her or is accused of grooming her, and then under the pretext of I'm going to interview this girl, you go to visit her and then sleep with her. There's something very strange happening there.
she was 16.
Allegedly.
But yeah, past the point of the age, there is an allegation of like some kind of physical force.
Allegedly, so now you're just saying her age is just a complete fabrication?
No.
That's it? No?
No, I'm not saying her age is a fabrication.
That you hooked up is an allegation. That's an
the
allegation that
idea
came
that
from
I-
your mouth.
The idea that I raped her is an allegation.
Yeah, it is an allegation.
It's a bullshit allegation that is easy to disprove.
Who's the originator of this allegation in particular this time?
Do you want to know the actual originator?
Sure.
Allie. She started this in December before it even was brought up. Ever once. She started saying this. On her own. I have the DMs to prove it.
Okay, so why would Allie say that about you, right? Let's think about why Allie would say that about you.
Because she's you know Allie's a
So there should be an insane red flag anytime someone does something like this. Someone's asked a question. Why do these people think this about you? Why do people think this? Why do people believe this argument that goes against something you believe? Whatever. And they can't give you an actual reason. They can't actually stillman the thought process and go, oh, well, I think what they're saying is, but I think that's ridiculous because if you can't do that and every time they just go, oh, they're crazy, they're insane, they're lying, they're crazy and insane, that should be very worrying. It should be incredibly fucking worrying in any situation.
Snake? You talked about it in your video.
I know, but I'm trying to give you her perspective. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe she says that she's so tired of these terminally online children. You know, I'm tired of these terminally online adults looking way like making shit up about teenagers. Like, that's hella weird. There's something wrong with her. I don't know. I think obviously she had something against me because she knew I was low-key gay-opping her. But like, that's just because I smelled some dirt in that water. Okay, I didn't trust her, and you didn't either.
To be fair, I didn't trust a single one of you.
That's fair. I mean, of course, you're not supposed to. In this business, you don't trust anybody. I made the mistake of trusting the wrong guy for a while.
Wow, yeah, this guy he's too trusting. That's his problem. He's just too trusting. That's his only problem, guys. He's just too trusting. He trusts the wrong people. It'd never be his own decisions.
Regardless,
anyway,
you need to prove a negative, though.
This is the first embarrassing call where he's flip-flopping on whether he had sex or not. Won't be direct about it. It's pretty rough. I can't watch the whole thing here. Now, he goes silent for a while, okay? So what have we got here? Let's just read the summary here. This is when he calls in. Cameron calls in, says he watched the video, it was good, agrees with the overall conclusion. Cameron states people are accusing him of rape, which he denies happened. Cameron states he has no ill will against Diesel, says he knows how Diesel thinks because they've been around commentary. Diesel brings up Cameron having sex with Jelly when he was 19 and she was 16. Cameron proceeds to say she was 17 and his previous admission was AI or a robot. Cameron states he watched the relevant parts of Diesel's video. Diesel brings up Cameron's statement of not flying out to have sex with Jelly. Sex to Big Dick Randy allegation. Cameron doesn't think him addressing the allegations video hurts his case. So basically, he was avoiding addressing the idea of them having sex or him raping her. Instead going, did we have sex to Big Dick Randy? And then she goes, no, we did not have sex to Big Dick Randy. And it's like, well, you haven't proven anything there. You asked a very specific question. Diesel expresses to Cameron that, by the way, he structures his argument about Jelly. Cameron inadvertently calls himself a pedophile. Diesel asks if Cameron is still friends with Jelly. Cameron says no. Diesel expresses to Cameron that Jelly baited pedophiles. So apparently Cameron says, oh, I wouldn't fuck Jelly because she's a minor. So it's like, you're implying that someone who, you know, a 19-year-old who fucks a minor there's something wrong there. So if you did that, you're doing something wrong, I think is the fundamental thing there. Diesel asks Cameron if Cameron is still friends with Jelly. Cameron says no. He says no, but he says we haven't spoken in, like a week. It's like, so you are still friends with her, you fucking lying sped. What else have we got here? Diesel expresses to Cameron that Jelly baited pedophiles. Cameron says he doesn't care and blames a history of abuse for their mother. Cameron states his argument wasn't that he didn't sleep with Jelly, just that he didn't rape her or do anything unconsensual. Cameron proceeds to explain why the Google Doc was changed. Diesel catches him in a liar, he got defending Jelly again. So, yeah, Cameron also repeatedly accuses this Google Doc of having child porn in it, refuses to prove it, and some of the images seem to disprove it, based on what Diesel's saying. So, he just totally baselessly slanders someone as having child porn in a Google Drive, which he has not substantiated since, as far as I know. Cameron states also none of the files have been changed since the day that Google Drive was posted, so the idea that any of it's been edited is just, that's not true either. Cameron states that the only thing he's worried about is his future career. When confronted about Cameron's account of having sex with Jelly, Cameron quotes the Bing Chilling meme verbatim. Wow. The following call consists of Cameron reaching out to FPS Diesel about a year later, wanting to come forward with new information about Dev in his upcoming Content Cop video. So, 5th of May, set the scene. Cameron, hard at work on his Content Cop video. He's going to be the new iDubbbz. He's about to go crazy, capturing the moment. He's watched, you know, every Nick Diorio stream. He's been on the r/h3 subreddit, H3 Productions subreddit for days. He's copied all the talking points he needs to make a video that everyone will pretend is good. So he's working hard. But there's one thing that just keeps nagging in the back of his mind. There's that whole thing with the 16-year-old, with the rape allegation. There's that whole thing with the 16-year-old and the rape allegations. Fuck. Okay. So at this point, okay, he's got the r/Osana mods on his side. That's the Yandere Dev anti-fan subreddit. They're on his side. They've said he's fine. I assume he's got Jelly on his side. He left on ultimately kind of good terms with Yandere Dev. He was kind of he also got the full rights to the music for the Yandere Dev game, even when that included music from other people. So he's like kind of, there's some allegations he like pseudo scammed there. I don't know the full details there. It's not really that important. But he left on relatively good terms with Yandere Dev. So all those people are fine. They're you know, they're neutralized. Now, Diesel is a little bit of a problem. Diesel's a problem because Diesel obviously had a little bit of a skeptical view towards Cameron, and is sitting on a trove of private information and conversations that could make Cameron look very bad and stupid, even more so than his public content. So just think, he's in the final stage of editing his content cop, and he desperately calls up Diesel. Let's listen to some of that call now.
Could you possibly be calling me with now?
So no, fake laugh right out the gate, immediately the most blatant skinwalker fake laugh ever. You're so annoying. You're such an off-putting personality, truly.
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good, Cameron. What's up?
Of all things I could be contacting you for, what do you think I am contacting you about?
I really don't want to answer that question. So do you just want to tell me why?
I really want you to. Well, first of all, no. Actually, I'll let you answer.
No, you just spit it out. What's up?
No. Brooklyn's finest, bro. Answer. I've had your coffee, by the way. Good shit.
I did not know that. Okay.
I didn't put it under my name.
Yeah, I pack a lot of orders anyway, so I wouldn't.
We don't care, man. He's being so performative and annoying. It's like the most obvious manipulation attempt you've ever seen.
So, yes, that was me. But I did have that was good shit. Anyways, and by the way, I actually was very impressed by. I'm like one of those guys that's in like to YouTuber products. Like I've tried.
So he's like glazing FPS Diesel's fucking dog shit coffee shill right now. The retarded drop shipped coffee. Bro, what is your fucking problem? He doesn't give a fuck if you like this coffee. Literally, no one gives a fuck if you like their retarded drop shipped coffee, dude. No one gives a fuck.
Quartering coffee. That shit was that shit was like Chinese fucking bullshit. Okay, I actually was very impressed. I thought it was some drop shipping scheme. I'm not even gonna lie. And I wasn't gonna blame you for it because like, hey man, I mean we all gotta like hustle. But like fuck, I was impressed. That's good shit, man. But anyways, being city aside, what do you think I'm calling you about?
Dog, I don't know, man. Because what, you're a free man from Yandere Dev. That's all like a year ago now.
Yeah, I have been for a while. Also, I should probably be very clear about this. I wanted to tell you this a while back, and I think now I can finally explain this. I did not have sex with Joey. Okay.
So all of a sudden now we're suddenly claiming. Okay, and keep this in mind. On that stream, he kept refusing to say anything. On that stream, he was refusing to admit whether he had sex with her. Diesel said very clearly, you told me in private conversations you did.
I wanted to tell you this a while back, and I think now I can finally explain this. I did not have sex with Joey. Okay. The reason I said that, the reason I was pressured into saying that, was because she had blackmailed over me over something that happened to me when I was younger, and I didn't want it out. And she was trying to force me into this weird thing. It doesn't matter. I don't care anymore because I have proof of her blackmailing me now.
She was blackmailing him and forced him to say he had sex with her when he didn't. That's the story now.
So it doesn't matter. I didn't have sex with her. I wasn't interested in her. I met her to interview her. If you really care, if you care that much, I can prove it. I wanted to make that clear, mainly because like optically it was weird. And the reason that was all out, and the reason like the RO Sonic like subreddit like cleared my name is because I took the plunge, essentially, and the details of which were recorded by her unknowingly, and I hadn't told my family about this. And nowadays, like I'm more open about it, obviously.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was really closeted about it, I guess. That was like just embarrassing to me. And I mean, nowadays it's like whatever, because like I'm not like, I guess I'm not worried about like. But like at the time, I was kind of like it made me insecure.
Yeah.
So he's just like dumping a bunch of personal info.
Say something else in order because it helps her get out of something with another dude that she was with. I don't know.
And none of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense.
And I have proof of it. That's besides the point. The real reason I'm
proof of it.
I need your input on something.
Okay. All right. Well, you just just hit me.
Yeah, I dumped a little bit, but I low-key did want to tell you that because like
why didn't you tell me she was blackmailing you when it happened? It would have obliterated her. It would have been nothing but I understand that you were like under duress about something like pretty sensitive, and I get that, but you know the alternative was her trying to paint you out as a statutory rapist.
Yeah, the real reason was because my family was paying close attention to my online activity at the time because I was expressing some suicidal ideation.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from a very religious Christian family. And
wow, we don't care, bro.
And it was a very traumatic experience that I'm not comfortable with.
Wow.
And tens of thousands. Like, okay, morally, like if I get outed that
he was
I had sex with a 17-year-old at 18, 19, okay. I don't really care.
Shut the
right?
fuck
That's
up.
whatever.
Nobody gives a shit.
At the time, I thought it was whatever because I didn't realize like
classic morale line.
Now I'm like, fuck. Like I realize it now because I looked into it and like people told me when I told the Arosana moderator for like, oh, you realize that you falsely admitted to something, something that could be held against you, right? I was like, what?
Diesel, you don't understand. She was going to tell everyone I got molested.
What? Really? And during the narrative run, like during the midst of it, I was heavily abusing alcohol. And nowadays I'm abstinent from it, but at the time it was rampant. The second I learned of what he did, it was, yeah, I was in the bottle, and I had to go to rehab. It was a bad situation. It was like really fucked up. I mean, you know, I was really like tied to him.
Yeah.
Like I trusted that guy. And like therapy kind of told me that yeah, he low-key groomed me.
Yeah, now we got groomed by your underage dev too.
I don't think I was. You know, it's funny because everyone told me that, and I was like, nah. And then like when you hear it from like a professional's mouth, you're like, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like looking back on it, I'm just like, god damn, that guy is fucking like, oh my god.
Yeah, and like claiming to be an alcoholic as well, like claims to be an alcoholic.
Even
alcoholic
now,
went to rehab.
Now, like especially now, I can't even like. There's no credibility I can really give it.
It's so crazy.
A part of me still like wants to give him that like benefit of the doubt that he was just autistic. It was involuntary.
He's 21 at the moment.
He couldn't understand tone.
So he's alcoholic, went to rehab at 21. He says in a song that he knows what college kids with mob ties and all this shit. Dude, he's like the biggest faker skinwalker you've ever seen. It's just like so cringe.
That sanity kicks in.
It's just so cringe.
Like, he was 36. You know, like.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
There's a certain point where that charitability has to fade away.
Yeah.
Like I'm an adult. I'm about to turn 21. I know better. You know. And it's like, that shouldn't have even been an announcement. Now, one thing I never omitted any information from was the Crexa stuff. That was 100% true. And you might laugh at me for this, but I still stand by any sections of the 2 videos I made about Crexa, 100,000%. Even actually including the RSL sections too. The only section I stand by was anything related to, Jelly. That was a Freudian slip. I don't give a shit anymore. Fuck that bitch. She's an evil little fucking gremlin.
Wow.
I knew it then. I knew it now. Like, I don't know. I mean, you probably tell us uncomfortable.
The women are actually really evil. They're actually really evil, and they're all conspiring against me.
Other than the one of us in like a fucking Marshalls or whatever. I recorded her because I was trying to get footage. I was low-key making like a documentary of me leaving the project, me understanding why I was leaving, me like talking to this person because once I was in the area.
My boy C. Cameron, he wouldn't hurt no one. He's a good boy, I promise.
Oh, like I'm like 15 minutes away from there. Reach out. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Like this could be interesting. Because I don't know if you remember this from our first conversation, but I used to be in. That's how I knew of Harley. That's how I knew of Tom.
Yeah.
So also, she loves commentary content. Don't care.
Yeah.
Which got leaked to Arasana. But yeah. I can't this up. I'm
speed this up.
And I'm making a video about iDubbbz, and I was hoping to get your opinion on my flow. But I also wanted to dump all that other shit because that's been weighing on me for about a year.
Yeah. Okay. Jesus.
I probably sound like a psycho.
You know, honestly, it's not even the craziest shit I've heard this month. So whatever.
I'm done with the Too Mad shit.
Yeah. Thank God he's dead.
I don't know about all that. Because like, I mean,
Too Mad was awesome. Too Mad owns Diesel. Where's
I was a fan of his. Thankfully, eventually, I came out like good because mine was taken seriously after a certain point. Then he got famous. He abused drugs and did some really retarded shit. I'm not saying he was a good person per se. I'm saying that was a creator with a lot of potential that went down a horrible path that I can't help but feel empathy for in a way, you know? So I wouldn't say thank God he's dead, but I also don't blame someone for something at the same time because I, like, fuck, man, that shit was getting crazy.
Well, the things that were public were like a quarter of everything.
Yeah, you told me.
Okay, it might be the next call. So, C. Cameron asks for his section.
You know, I'm going to pursue action.
Wait.
Because at that point, the damage had been. You got to have between like the litigation between us. Is it was more so Calimara is like the main person. Like, if there was one person, like if I had one like ticket, I guess, to remove a video from the internet, it'd be Calimara's video. And that would just be.
If I recall, she also like sided with Crexel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't release it, but she alluded to it, and she has my like a
third quarter of the video.
Had do with that. However, I strongly disavow anyone calling her.
And this is just, you know, my personal anecdotes as somebody who's been doing drama a long time, is like, you got to realize that when you do this kind of content, people are going to harass others no matter.
Okay, I don't care about this.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was in the right mindset. I have been out of like the YouTuber mindset for a long time.
Okay.
I switched. I signed to like.
YouTuber mindset for a long time. Shut up, man. Shut up.
Signed an agreement to
Skinwalker.
release those tracks
Skinwalker.
as, you know, projects. I can't really get out of that. A and B. I mean, that helps the well. You know, that helps the well stay filled.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah,
and,
I think this will be fine, Cameron.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna.
Why not?
First was boring. Okay, we'll move on from this. All right, so after this, Cameron messages Diesel. Sorry for the random call. I have an impromptu question. Then he sends the video. And then, so after he's released the iDubbbz video, or maybe it's after he's released it, or maybe Diesel watches it early on unlisted. Yeah, people are sourcing your video against me. Would you be willing to cut out the stuff about me? Like, please cut out the stuff about me. I told you that I got blackmailed into saying that. I didn't really fuck her.
Yo.
So let's listen to a bit of this. So this is the second call. Apparently this one's a little bit better. This one's a little bit funny. I think this is the one where he gets asked for evidence, I think. And he tries to produce it.
Ooh.
The bad?
Oh no, it was just like a little like crackly for a second. I think what you were putting in a mic or something, or
I think I fucked with my cord a little bit.
So that first call happened just before the release of the content call. I think this one might be before the release as well. No, this must be just after, right? I think this one's just after the content cop.
Our silence means.
So this is 7th of May. Yeah, this is 2 days after the content cop.
I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been dreading this.
Yeah, I know you messaged me and then you deleted the message.
Yeah, I don't know. I like. It's not. It's more so. It's just like it goes over. Like.
So there the mesh is blown up for you. Sorry for the round call. I've been probably question. Yeah, people are sourcing a video against me. Would you be willing to cut the stuff out about me?
It's not. It's more so. It's just like it goes over. Like.
He's obviously responded by instead making a whole new 45-minute video about Cameron.
2 things that I like. Never want to rehash like ever. Like, well, one of them I took years of therapy, obviously.
Cut that part of the video out?
Like, that
You're
was
joking.
a shitty thing. Like, that was just really anxious time.
Possibly the biggest fuck up you can make actually in like commentary or drama is going around and asking someone to take a video down or remove part, because they probably will just. I think honestly most people who do this sort of content probably will actually just will just ignore you and put out more content purely because you've asked them not to. So.
Who came to me to relitigate it, really?
Yeah, I did. I don't know why. I guess I felt like I could kind of trust you in a way. I don't think you would go out and tell people like.
Listen to the force
thing that happened to me that I am uncomfortable with people knowing.
Yeah, and get the fucking grip, buddy.
You know, I think you would understand, especially having dealt with the situation and knowing the people involved, why. Like, you know, I think, and, you know, I also, at that time, actually did want feedback on my video. Like, that was...
Yeah, I mean, your video's been successful, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I expected maybe 30K views tops. So, this has been very overwhelming for sure. In a good way. Of course, you know, it got relitigated, so but it doesn't seem to be catching much traction
until now.
To be honest, both sides of the Ethan Hassan iDubbbz, they don't know about Yandere Dev. They don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's
Until
just
now.
a different part of the internet.
They're trying. Like Leftovers H3, like the snark people, they've definitely tried. Some people have been like, "Hey, I saw this."
Mm.
These
But then,
snarkers,
like,
these snarkers harassing
What's
me.
funny is most of the YouTubers that they try to tell already know. Like they already know.
Mm.
So they don't care. They know it's like
Yeah,
they know
they
it's
care.
either
No one
bullshit or
cares,
it's
right?
like, I
It's just
really
total
wasn't a
bullshit.
big
It's just
part of
bullshit,
that.
right?
They know that you like,
Guys, it's just
work for
bullshit,
them.
right? Thankfully, we've got a few
Mhm.
calls
Mm.
to go
Well,
over
because
as
I was
well.
in like the commentary space briefly for a while,
Yeah.
and
In
a lot of them
fact, I think before we get too far into this call, maybe we should just listen to these full clips just so we know exactly. I'm going to give you some of the juice here, okay? There's some of the real juice. All right. These are special clips, all right? So the first one of these we've already heard some of.
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint, I was saying no, and I was scared, and that I didn't want to.
No, just in the sense of us having sex, and that can be argued because once I heard you say stop.
Unless there's blackmail happening in the background here, this is a private call where he is acknowledging that they had sex. So he's lying to Diesel when he says that didn't happen now.
Put you down. You were being nonverbal.
I don't think I was.
I'm telling you.
'Cause
Maybe I wasn't hearing correctly, but I'm telling you that I did not hear the word stop, and until I did, I put you down.
Guys, you just didn't hear us say stop,
felt
okay?
awful
He just didn't
because
hear it.
You were like, once you like started like squirming a bit, I felt like bad.
Squirming? You're gonna call it squirming? I was hitting you.
Were you?
Were you? Why are you hitting me? I can't remember if you were hitting me while I was trying to make an advance on you. I can't remember that. Sorry. Well, someone get the anime gif of that anime girl doing the... You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? That's Cameron right now.
And I feel bad about it. But that's between us, and that's not going to be public.
Blair. Dude.
What about
It's Blair posting.
how
I don't remember that. Blair.
like 5 minutes telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go.
Oh.
You
Haven't we already been over this?
Haven't we already been over
No,
this?
I feel horrible about that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force you to do something.
But you can't just act like you didn't do anything wrong.
What the?
That's the first thing I said to you. Like you said, I didn't do anything wrong in the sense of like anything illegal, and you know, in regards to the idea of us having sex, and that's all I was talking about. Not that between. And that's why I said obviously between us. I know I made mistakes.
So, this is just like admission.
And I feel horrible for them.
It's just admission.
Because I broke a boundary that I didn't realize I was breaking, and I feel awful
You
for
didn't
it.
realize you were breaking it? Me telling you that I didn't want to and that I was scared and not to grab me. That... Okay.
If you were like... Hold on, wait.
What's your response?
Like, obviously, like, after the fact, once I put you down, like, I realized what was happening. Like,
Okay.
there's a reason I put you down.
Because I was hitting you.
You might have been.
You might have been. You might have been
don't
hitting me.
remember that, but you might have
I
been.
personally don't remember that.
Might
Personally, I don't remember you hitting me,
okay.
but you might have been.
Okay.
I'm genuine when I say I do not remember that.
It's just so ranty. He's such an obvious liar. But guys, you think that's bad, okay? That's pretty manipulative. That's pretty lame. Yeah, he is basically admitting it. We're trying to downplay and get her back on his side there. So let's move on to this second clip. So one thing Cameron really didn't want people thinking is that he was flashing teenage girls on Discord. Now, obviously, he is only 3 years older. However, as you may know, anytime you cross state lines or do anything over electronic communications with someone under 18, that is a federal crime. So, let's hear this discussion about flashing on Discord. What's Cameron got to say for himself?
What do you mean, tell you the truth?
That you flashed her?
It's not what...
Cameron?
It's not what the fuck happened. It's not what the fuck happened.
Okay, what happened then?
Showed her my underwear. It was funny. She was asking about it. It wasn't like that, and I'm fucking tired of it.
So, I guess the contention here is he didn't flash his cock, he showed his underwear. I guess maybe you could see part of the cock or something, but further, it's like, it's not that much different. Like, yeah, I agree. Flashing is not really the right term. If you did truly just show your underwear. However, this is like pretty close, so I don't know what the truth is. Like, you're admitting something that's very close. So I don't really know what the truth is here. Let's run that back. Let's hear that again.
It's not what...
Flashed her?
It's not what... It's not what the fuck happened. It's not what the fuck happened.
Okay, what happened then?
Showed her my underwear. It was funny. She was asking about it. It wasn't like that, and I'm fucking tired of it. It wasn't like that. It wasn't fucking like it. I was trying to clear that up, and it wasn't the pressure. I was just trying to fucking clear that up, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked about it. The only reason I asked about it is because of the conversation we had earlier. I just wanted to clear it up. I'm sorry. I didn't want you thinking weird shit about me because it's not fucking true. It's not who the fuck I am.
Dude.
Specifically fucking avoided that shit because of that fucking reason. I didn't fucking like her like that. And I'm tired of fucking people saying that shit because it's not fucking true. Sorry. I just don't. I'm so tired of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't bring it up
It's
again.
very lion maker. It is very lion. I see what people are saying. It's very lion maker. I didn't fucking do that. It's not fucking true. Dude. Content cop, by the way, guys. Content cop. Okay, so let's get back to the calls. So I've given you a bit of the juice there. Throwing you a bit of red meat, a bit of the juice. So we can keep making our way through the call. I hope this contextualizes some of the denial and bullshit that he's doing in these calls. Also, guys, a little bit extra. I just remember this. The girl that he's talking to, the girl that he fucked. Lyrics fans, do you remember when Lyrics was covering the underage dev thing, and he was bringing one of the victims on, and then he freaked out and kicked her because he realized she was a minor? It's the same girl. It's the same girl. It's the exact same girl. So is that an awesome callback? So let's carry on.
Already spoken to. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking, I'm rambling because.
So
yeah, Lyrics would never fall for this.
Okay, so
Lyrics is way smarter.
When it happened, you gave me like the story.
Some say he's a professional. In fact,
like walk me through what actually happened based on our last call, where it's like, oh.
Yo, thank you for the 5 Canadian. I've actually showed a tool, so I'm going to do a quick show right now. Guys, 500 people watching right now, 63 likes on stream, so almost 440 people. Wouldn't mind, please, moving the cursor to thumbs up and clicking it or pressing a thumbs up on the mobile device. That would be hugely appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through a stream elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat which will highlight your message and read it on TTS, or buy a super sticker which is a YouTube image or GIF that will be highlighted in chat. I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Also, guys, you can now watch on twitch.tv/Kuihman every day where we multi-stream or on YouTube. And also, guys, crazy stuff. ABC, always be clipping, and post like hell, okay, guys? Post like hell. Go on the subreddit. There's an always be clipping ABC's guide, okay, where you can learn to clip streams, and then you should be running a Twitter account, being on Reddit, posting stuff everywhere, editorializing and posting. The people you hate the most, the thing they fear is you being on Twitter with an account, clipping streams and talking about drama. Okay, that's what they fear the most. So if you just are sick of these unpunished frauds, phonies, and liars, whatever that post on my subreddit said. If you're sick of them, okay, guys, make a Twitter account, get out there, be active, okay? Unpunny, yeah. Don't think about that one too much, okay? Don't think about unpunny too much. Anyway, guys, let's get back into the video.
I was being blackmailed to say that.
So what essentially happened was me and her were like getting close. That all was true. And it was very obvious to me that she liked me. Are you recording this?
Of course I am. And you should be too.
I should be, but
thank you, HP, for the membership. Thank you.
I don't know what I'm going to do. It depends how our conversation goes.
That's true.
Whatever. I won't go too deep. As long as you don't like
put the part about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to do that.
Okay, I appreciate that. At the very least. I mean, obviously I would be uncomfortable the conversation getting out, but I mean, whatever. Basically, we were close. We got close, and this was obviously before I knew about her past.
Cap.
There were times I was trying to get out of it.
You knew she was.
Where like I would be like, okay, I can't handle this anymore. I need to send this. I need to prove it. I need to send some evidence that this person's malicious. And then I would walk back on it, like out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And because as stones became more and more unturned, things got different. Now we definitely were friendly, and we definitely got close. But that was pretty short-lived. It lasted maybe a month or two. Once January hit, like we were not on good terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it obviously like there was like she was recording everything I was saying. She got that on me. And it's not like I did anything. It's not like I'm admitting to something crazy. It's just that like that's like extremely personal that I am embarrassed of. Like I wish that never happened. And it's something I just don't want people knowing.
So when did she make that into blackmail?
I think it was around the time when like I think
it was
later
the 5
December,
euro SKU, thank you.
where like she was really getting
smile.
It felt like she was into me. And I felt uncomfortable with that. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, at that time I was just like really not, at that state where I felt like I even wanted to get into something like that. I did feel comforted by her. Like there was definitely aspects where it felt like she was like,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
We were,
that goes hard.
Toting that line. Like that's undeniable. But it was not something I wanted to pursue in any way, shape, or form. And when I made that clear to her, she seemed to have quickly snapped. A lot of jealousy came out because like I had started to talk to a girl that I liked, and she got insecure, jealous, like, and it got really dark really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got really dark really quickly. Guys.
So over that time,
21,
you're really bonding with her, and you tell her,
"All right, man.
This horrible thing happened to me."
Yeah.
Well, why did you tell her that? Just because you felt comfortable?
Well, we were both talking about, these like situations because we had both just gotten out of that crazy situation, right? And then she was telling me about, things that happened to her, and she kind of pried a little bit.
I did just show her,
but then, like, we just got into a really emotional conversation. But yeah, it just kind of came out there. We were both venting to one another.
And so you didn't know, and she was recording that?
No,
she wasn't recording it? Okay.
No, I know she was recording that. I didn't know that she was.
Okay, you didn't know that she was recording it. Okay.
No.
So you guys start to have a falling out in...
Wow, crazy stuff. We need to just
right?
get through some of this, okay?
It was after the last time we met.
Yeah.
That one.
Because things didn't go her way.
And so she...
Should we have we should probably have some kind of footage on screen, right? We need some kind of like filler footage because there's no visual for this. I know what we'll do, guys. We're gonna pull up. Let's pull up this auto battler. Nick eating. Oh look, just loop the gif of Nick eating the little fucking cake. Spooning a little cake into his mouth. Dude, that shit is so good. That gif goes crazy, man. That gif actually goes crazy. I love it way too much. Fuck, man. Let's get this on screen and then mute it. How do I need like a... There we go. Where's my mute? How do I mute this? Okay, guys, enjoy auto battle gameplay.
He comes to you and says, "What about this story?" You tell her.
Essentially, like the way it went. This was over call, and I think I recorded the tail end of it. I can try to find that. But essentially, it's over call where she's like, "I'm gonna fucking ruin your life. You played me. You wanted this from me. You like." I can just tell this is the way men are.
Surely we're gonna get evidence of this. This is just the way men are. He's totally not just trying to slander us like man-hating and all this shit to try and get people on his side, guys. Because we're gonna get given evidence of this, surely.
Knew how that story made me feel about like certain parts of me. She knew how insecure it made me. She knew that like that's something traumatic that I still deal with.
Mm.
And she's like now the world knows this about me. You're gonna have to deal with it or work with me. And like it was like this weird backwards. I'm going to make you feel the pain I felt because you didn't reciprocate me.
Mm-hmm.
And that I was like, this girl's a fucking psychopath. And then she would have moments of humanity where she would feel bad, walk it back, want to make a public statement. And then it would go right back. Like BPD type shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was just terrified.
Type shit.
Fuck. Yeah, it's not something I'm just... It sounds silly talking about it, like I'm so terrified about it coming out, but to me, like that coming out, what happened, it would be like a game ender for me.
Molested.
Like that's how it felt.
Yeah, this game's fun if you want something just to play while you're doing all this shit.
I can look for it. I haven't touched it since I recorded it. I'll have to find it. I'll look right now.
So he's gonna look right now. He's looking for the evidence right now, guys. Let's see how much this Mechabellum game we can play before this guy finds the evidence.
Oh, that's the correct folder. Oh boy. I know I remember putting it into. No, that was certainly it. There's a gap. Where's the folder?
Now, where did I put that? Goes and opens up a comically large drawer in a filing cabinet. Springs out. Extends 5 meters in front of him. Starts stroking his chin. Runs his finger along the top. Now, where did I put that?
I know there was a point, but I think it was before this, where she forced me to, like, delete recordings of her admitting to her past. I just don't know where in the timeline that happened. I believe it was after.
Takes off his hat to scratch his head.
You're gonna have to bear with me because it has.
Yeah, take your time. You got me until, like, 11, so I'm just eating my
goes into a back room that has a hugely tall set of bookcases and a ladder that has to be ran round.
I'm gonna start searching separate folders because I feel like this.
God, it's just so funny. What do I buy next? I thought I'm gonna be fucked if I don't. I thought maybe let's get one hound.
Oh man, where's the shit?
Get one hound and we'll get one.
Oh fuck, man! Hearing your voice is just fucking torture, dude. Where's the folder? I had a big fucking folder. Like, it was called the Yandere files or something. Of all of this shit.
We could even. I know what
it was like compressed as well. Because it was like 50 gigabytes. No, it was 150 gigabytes.
Mustang. Even a full.
Did you share it with anybody over Discord or like? Because I know you talked to the r/Osana mods and made it like a.
This isn't free to play. No, it's not free. To
Yeah.
play. They're £15.
They didn't know about the blackmail. They knew about some of the fucking shit that she like was trying to do to me. They didn't know that specifically the blackmail, what it was about, my story, anything like that. Here it is. Here's the folder. Oh, but that ends in September. That was when I was recording Alex response video.
So he's still looking for that evidence, guys. He's still looking for that. He's on this. He's on the mission right now. Okay, trust. He's gonna get it.
Sure.
Any moment, I'm sure.
We were on normal terms.
Evidence-shaped belly. Looks over at Nick Diorio and his big evidence-shaped belly.
There's just a gap.
Rubs it and burps.
Not this one. No, this is in December. There's a gap from the 29th of November to the 7th of December to the 15th.
I don't even know what I'm buying.
And the 15th looks to be a video I scrapped where I was playing a VR game.
Retarded shit at the moment.
And then to the 20th. And then no Discord until much later.
Let's get another Mustang. And we'll get...
Really?
I don't even know. I don't even know. Fuck it, man. Wasp, man. I'm gonna be a real asshole.
Oh, this video.
I'm gonna missile strike that shit too.
I'm getting a bad feeling. I fucking deleted it. I swear to fucking God if it's gone, dude.
I don't know if I'll put amplifying cores on you. I can't want to see what he buys.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, man. You need to get some different units. You're lagging.
Yep, everything fucking December is gaming. Videos that I never released. I can check. It's not going to be here. Oh, that's Content Cop. That's late 2024. There's Smoking Gun. Huh. That looks to be re-downloaded from when I sent it to you. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't think I have it anymore.
Oh,
I think it was deleted.
he's deleted it. So that was about 15 minutes he spent looking for the key piece of evidence that would completely exonerate him, that he has accidentally deleted somehow. The key piece of evidence that would exonerate him in the allegations of raping a 16-year-old girl, he has accidentally deleted. Guys, if you were, first of all, accused of raping a 16-year-old girl, and you had smoking gun, silver bullet, evidence that exonerates you, what are the chances you'd delete that? You lose track of that and you accidentally delete it. I find that hard to believe, personally. Me, personally, I find that a tough sell. Now, I'm open to having my mind changed on this. I'm totally not stalling while I finish placing my units for his turn, so I can then turn and start playing the video again in total peace, because I realized that I actually have a debilitating mental issue where I can't pay attention to two things at once. So I'm just trying to... This is probably a poor decision. Yeah.
So that was over like a conversation where she was like, delete this, delete this, delete this.
She showed me, the first call she showed me was when we were discussing what people were saying online about us. The famous in regards to the idea call. And then the second thing is, she's like, I'll drop this. And the second thing was that, because there was, the first call was very early on. It was like early October-ish when I talked about that with her. It had to be.
So you're saying she threatened you with blackmail in like October?
No, December. The blackmail was recorded, I mean, in October.
Okay.
Fuck me. Wait, no.
So how the fuck have they broken through
audio
there? Does
extraction
she have
folder.
so many snipers?
Because there were times where I would extract the audio and get rid of it. To like make the file smaller. I don't remember even doing that with this. But I might as well check. The thing about that recording though is it was just the tail end of that conversation. It was more so me like just trying to get her to admit that she was blackmailing. The call that she was blackmailing me with is not in there. So at that point, you would just have to take my word for it regardless.
Can you walk me
You
through?
would just have to take my word
like,
for
what
it,
that conversation
guys.
was like? Were you like saying you're blackmailing? Like what was happening in that call then?
What I remember, like from the recording, I was like, "You're blackmailing me."
You'll
Is-
take
like,
Cameron's
is this-
word for it,
that's
right?
your prerogative. You're just trying to blackmail me. And in her eyes, I was blackmailing her before because I had all these calls of her admitting shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the first
stuff like what?
Oh, that she had multiple girls that they were honeypotting essentially, but she was also trying to twist it as if she was just being a kid.
Yeah.
You know, what every child does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was sick, and I recorded that, and I lied and said I hadn't sent it to anybody.
Who cares if they honeypotted?
Yeah,
you sent it to me.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna be real. It's not like something that's like good that should be allowed to just like go on. But it's like I'm not gonna like have huge moral judgment for some teenager that honeypots pedophiles to scam them out of money on the internet. I'm not gonna lie. I like that's bad and shouldn't be happening. I don't really care. Like you're first of all, someone actively trying to do something they shouldn't, and they're getting scammed in the process. It's not very compelling in the first. Like it doesn't exactly inspire sympathy in me. And then it's a fucking child doing it to you as well. So it's like I double don't give a fuck actually.
Those weren't as bad, but the reason I didn't send those to you is because they detailed abuse that she went through, and I felt bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was essentially like, you're blackmailing me. Why would you do that? Because you blackmailed me. A type of regurgitation, and I was also kind of like teary-eyed while this was happening. So like I had a shaky voice.
Mm-hmm.
Because you also
Dude, this guy's really turned this game
we were on
around.
fine
This is
terms.
fucked up.
Like,
yeah, she was pissed that you had sent it to me and that information had gotten back to her because I was asking people about it.
Yeah. And she was like,
Just
that she felt I betrayed her essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also right after she learned I was talking to a girl.
Yeah.
And it was just really scary.
Straight to Raid is live reacting to your loaner box debate. Someone archive the VOD, I mean, she saves them.
If you're uncomfortable with taking my word for it, I understand if you don't want to make any edit or retraction. That's fine. I get it. I'm not going to think you're a shitty person. That's your prerogative. I'm telling you this mainly because it's kind of a weight lifted off my shoulders.
All right, man. This guy's such a fucking liar.
I feel like
it's actually obscene.
That call that we had after that group chat,
we're gonna be just
blowing me up.
I'm gonna be such a prick right now
because she was trying to call me, saying "Don't say a fucking word, don't say a fucking word" type shit. Like I was scared shitless. I had to go through with what she wanted. She wanted that to be a narrative because she wanted to destroy my life.
The text chats that we had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I don't record myself.
What's the app to do what?
I never have.
Oh.
The internet is. I was growing up on the internet for the archive thing, and I had friends who their Snapchat got hacked after high school, and I just didn't want to deal with that in the future.
There's an extension for it.
We'll circle back around to that, but I know on April 14th of 2024 you put out the joint statement with the r/Osana mods, right?
Yeah.
What was going on in those calls? Were you just giving your side of the story?
Yeah, I gave all my evidence with Correcta. Everything. It ended up being like a 12-hour call.
Yeah, they said it was a total of like 30 hours. I don't know if they were embellishing or anything.
It came down to that. It was multiple days.
Yeah.
Where they were like harshly. I felt like I was being interrogated.
And
like, harshly.
When did those calls start? Because they put it out the 14th, but obviously you guys started talking a little before that, right?
It was like it was that same week.
That's so the whole week of the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like the reason that they understood, I told them like that, like my side of things would actually happen, but I didn't. I withheld some personal details, and I withheld some of the things that I was scared of coming out because I didn't want, that person to see it and feel vindicated in releasing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah.
So over the course of those or over those 6 days, maybe a little less, like 5 days, you'd say?
Yeah, I'd say 5 or 6. Yeah,
5 or 6
probably.
days? Okay. So over that course of time, I'm guessing you gave them the audio clip about the CSAM.
This guy's fucking raping me. It's just done,
clip
man.
And that was from a call you had with Dev, right?
Yeah. And that was because, well, I didn't feel comfortable holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried taking action beforehand.
When did Dev tell you those things?
I will have to take a look. I remember it because I was playing Minecraft when it happened. So
Well, it had to have been before you officially left the project, quote unquote. So that
no, it wasn't. It was a little after.
was a little after. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was still under contract, but I left, and this was me ending the friendship.
Yeah, and he was being upfront with you about that.
Yeah. It was okay. So this was in October.
So it was in October when he told you that. Okay.
Yeah. October 22nd. So that was me like ending the friendship, and like I started off trying to like be like, hey, yada yada yada. Like I want to like figure this all out. What's going on? Because at this point, I had heard everything from her. I had heard everything that happened.
Oh, these sledgehammers just gonna fuck me up, man. I think.
And then I had heard that he was lying to me about sysfs.
Maybe not.
And that struck a hard chord. Like I was, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Because that was one of like the reasons that I felt so bad for him for a while, because I thought like, man, this guy's been like slandered heavily.
This guy's crawling
and
stronger
very
than
naive of me at the time. But that's something I defended him over and thought, it was the right thing to do. And he had also in that same call admitted that to me.
I'm getting stomped.
So, I'm sure I could probably find it, but I don't know. Listening to it back is something still difficult. Listening to any recordings from that time is extremely difficult. I'm sure you understand. Like that sucked. Everything about that sucked. And I was in a very bad spot.
So he tells you this in October. And around that time, you and I have a call about Jelly. And that's where you tell me about her doing all these honeypots.
Yeah. Because at that point, we were like friendish. We hadn't gotten close. So I was like, I got what I wanted. I'm done.
Yeah, and she told you that.
Yeah.
So there were rumors about it before. And so you were trying to fish that out of her in your calls?
Yeah. But the hard thing about that at the time, and I stand on this still, is that she's obviously a manipulator, big manipulator. But I'd kind of also kind of fallen for the idea that this was more so abuse and less her being malicious. Obviously, in hindsight, definitely incorrect.
Yeah, I'm certain they're not mutually exclusive. So.
No, I know she was abused for sure, but she also knew well exactly what she was doing.
So
I wanted to get through some of this call. Apparently, this call picks up. Okay, we might skip
Jelly and all of that. And so
I also said a lot of shit in those calls that was really distasteful.
When so you had Yandredev admitting to these things for a while. How come you never gave any of that to me?
At the beginning, I just was very kind of in shock, to say the least. You got to remember, not only was I friends with this guy, but I essentially grown up, during our friendship. So this was someone I looked up to, had a close relationship with, and I cared about. I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. I spent a week or two pondering on what I'm going to do. I sent it to his local, police station. I figured out how I could do that. And waited for results and figured that would be the best route. That way, because for some reason I didn't want him knowing that I did something disloyal.
Well, you knew at the time that I had open communication with the FBI. Which is why I'm curious why you didn't send it to me.
I totally forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie. I until you just brought it up, I don't know exactly why I didn't tell you. I think I was again scared of being disloyal in a weird way, but I also did send it to cops. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just because when you sent me the smoking gun call clip, as we'll call it, right? And rightfully, I don't regret a single thing I did with my coverage of Jelly whatsoever. People felt that I was, very problematic, but me having that and not the other thing made Dev out to be more of a victim than he was. You realize that, right?
I do, and I regret it now in hindsight. But at the time, I can't say I was thinking very rationally. And I admit that, and I take full accountability that I should have probably sent it to you.
And I realize, and
I'm back.
I realize she's an unreliable narrator.
We are skipping 45 minutes. Try that again.
So in your response video, right? And many times I ask you, you'd never give me a straight answer on whether or not you two hooked up.
Yeah.
And so now you're telling me you guys didn't hook up?
Okay.
No.
So why didn't you just tell me we didn't hook up instead of beat around the bush?
I was afraid of what she would do if like I was on the record saying that.
Mm. You know, I would have been accommodating if that was the case.
I know. You have to understand that this situation, like, to me, was a death sentence. The internet found out, I would have bit a bullet.
Dude. It's crazy emotional manipulation here. Threatening to kill himself to Diesel if this ever gets out. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I listened over to all of our calls. If it's true that you didn't hook up with her, not once do you ever slip up from beating around the bush and avoiding my question. Not once.
What do you mean? Like when we were talking?
Mm-hmm.
Was this like
really? I just got fucking raped.
I know. I'm sure.
I'm totally raped.
Hold on, I can actually pull up the exact 1:30.
I'm gonna be real. I don't want to listen.
Okay, I'll just read out my notes. Right.
Okay.
So we have a call on January 30th, and we're discussing the aftermath of the trip, right, from Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. You tell me that you want to make a documentary and meet her and interview her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just that he got molested. I think that's the blackmail, is that he got molested.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seems like it is, anyway.
I asked you if it was a romantic fling in the call. You respond, kinda, quote, and that you agree with my assessment as I explain it. When I ask if you have sex with her, you pause before saying, quote, me choosing not to answer should be an answer for you. I press you on this, and you say, yes, we did, to whether or not you two had sex.
Who hasn't been nowadays? Me. Me and every other fucking normal person, okay? Getting molested is not normal. Sorry.
Yeah. Was it smart of me to go with it? No, it wasn't. But at that point, I was more content with quitting the internet than that event being events.
Well, when she accused you of rape, the discussion everywhere from you and in a group chat was always about whether or not the event was consensual or not whether or not it happened or not.
Yep, because I had a line.
So when she was accusing you of having a sexual encounter, do you realize what she is accusing you of?
I realize it now.
You didn't realize it then? I told you then. I said...
I understood it then, but to me, it just didn't... I guess it wasn't clicking. I don't know. I was very scared. I understand
Such
where you were coming from.
A scary 16-year-old girl.
But, and why you may, like, I guess, why you want to follow up, why you feel that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was under a lot of pressure. Pretty much every time we were talking, she was, reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of small dog attitude from this Cameron
You said in
guy.
our last call that you stand behind your response. But I know you privated my response video.
I stand by some of it. Stand by what I said about Crexo, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. But don't you stand behind?
Any defense I gave to Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't genuine.
So those interview pieces that you put in, right?
Yeah.
You ask Jelly the sex question, right? But you ask it very interestingly. You say, quote, did I have sex to you while listening to Big Dick Randy? To which Anne replies, quote, we did not have sex while listening to Big Dick Randy.
Yeah. That's all I could... I was trying to get her to walk it back.
Trying to get her to walk what back?
To, like...
So, like, he's even admitting that that's manipulative phrasing designed to try and get her to essentially walk back the claim without actually telling her to walk back the claim, right? He's copping to that, basically straight up. Which is just like, you're raped at that point. I'm sorry, bro. You tried to get someone to walk back an accusation about you in a manipulative way, and you've flip-flopped on the truth of it many times. No one can figure out from your testimony what happened anymore. You've completely shot any credibility you ever had. So you just sound like a massive freak.
At that point, we had got on better terms slowly. I was hoping that I could move on with my life. She would get rid of this hate punter for me and get over it.
What do I need to buy
So
here?
during that time, I was like, can you finally admit that this is not what happened?
Rollers? Snipers?
And the stipulation
Not
was
snipers.
that she would say it, but there would be like something after it.
Mm.
Like, and then, like, I think at the time, one of the artists on the mods was saying, they had sex posting with Big Dick Randy, so we kind of were memeing on it a little bit, I guess.
Replicate.
And yeah.
But the true allegation isn't whether or not you had sex with Big Dick Randy, it's whether or not you two had sex at all.
Yeah, which we did.
Right? So things are ending. You want her to admit to not having sex with Big Dick Randy? Why not just ask her outright, did we or did we not have sex?
And then
I tried.
Increased health.
I fucking tried.
Okay.
So instead you beat around the bush?
I kept trying. She wasn't willing to chili. She wanted it over me. So I just settled for what I
completely unsubstantiated claims of blackmail still.
Try to move on with my life in some fucking way.
Total bullshit again, just like the biggest lying wretch going.
That's what she wanted. She's a sick little fucker.
Yeah,
right.
You knew how she operates.
I guess.
Yeah, you knew and played defense for it. You weren't naive. You knew what was happening.
So
yeah, I get
February
raped again.
19th,
Really, I'm just making the wrong
sends me a
decision.
voice
Making
note
the
of a
wrong
call she had
bias
with
here,
you.
clearly.
And on that call, it's where she accuses you of rape, right?
Yeah.
That call is not. The call is basically whether or not the two of you had reconciled about your encounter.
Rollers are not helping me.
Not whether or not the sexual encounter happened. So both of you, in the privacy
we
of the
weren't
call
even
together,
talking about a sexual fucking encounter.
I could pull up that clip.
I remember the call.
I'm listening to it right now.
Wow. Awesome stuff happening here. Surely he's going to have the evidence he's looking for this time. Right, guys? Surely.
Yeah, the two of you, in the privacy of a call alone, with no outside parties, the two of you are discussing how the event took place, not whether or not the event took place or not.
What event?
The event where you hook up with her.
What was happening?
What was happening?
Yeah, like what were we discussing specifically?
She's accusing you of like... Let me listen to what she says exactly.
Forcing yourself on her?
Forcibly lifted her up and wouldn't stop. And that Anne was hitting you.
Yeah. That wasn't a sexual encounter.
That wasn't a sexual encounter?
No.
Because it was described as a sexual encounter.
I know. I remember how it was phrased. I remember how it was.
So what happened?
I've already explained this like a billion times before, I feel like. But like that was when we had like met. I think it was like the second or third, fourth time we met. I can't remember.
Uh-huh.
No, because we only met. It was the second time that day that we met up. I hugged her. I picked her up. Like it was kind of like a
wait.
Like a
so second, third, or fourth time we met, and then that changes to the second day of the first time we met. And I think that's he's trying to say it's the only time that they met. So do they meet multiple times or not?
You know what I mean? Like I was picking her up. She freaked out. I didn't know she didn't like that, and like that was something she was not into, and she was like, she started like flailing around, I guess. But, I mean, she also did that a lot without anything happening. Anything happening? She would like do that with her arm.
You
didn't think much of
said
it.
that you did nothing wrong.
And then apparently, like she has some like trauma with being picked up. I didn't know about. And I felt bad.
Uh-huh.
So that's essentially what it was. She used that.
So he says that what's happening there is he just picked her up and she didn't like that. Let's hear the clip again.
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
From a legal standpoint, I was saying no and I was scared and that I didn't want to.
No, just in the sense of us having sex, and that can be argued because once I heard you say stop, I put you down. You were being nonverbal.
I don't think I was.
I'm telling you. Maybe I wasn't hearing correctly, but I'm telling you that I did not hear the word stop, and until I did, I put you down. And I felt awful because you were like, once you like started like squirming a bit, I felt like
squirming? Bad. You're gonna call it squirming? I was hitting you.
Were you?
What the fuck? Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I don't know. Obviously I wasn't intending to do something bad to you. And I feel bad about it. But that's between us, and that's not going to be public.
What about how I spent like 5 minutes telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go?
So that was the initial claim. We could give him the ground there and say those conversations get muddled and they're somehow muddling in a non-sexual picking up into this conversation. It's very clearly about sex. Now, this next part, this is very clear.
Telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go. You...
Haven't we already been over this? Like, you know, I feel horrible about that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force you to do something.
But you can't just act like you didn't do anything wrong.
That's the first thing I said to you. Like, like you said, I didn't do anything wrong in the sense of, like, anything illegal. And you know, in regards to the idea of us having sex. And that's all I was talking about. Not that between, that's why I said, obviously, between us, I know I made mistakes. And I feel horrible for them. Because I broke a boundary that I didn't realize I was breaking, and I feel awful.
You didn't realize you were breaking it? Me telling you that I didn't want to and that I was scared and not to grab me. That... Okay.
If you were like... Hold on, wait, hold on. Like, obviously, like, after the fact, once I put you down, like, I realized what was happening. Like, there's a reason I put you down.
So let's
realize I was, you know,
wrong.
Wanted to spend more time with you.
Like 5 minutes.
Let's run that back again.
Telling you that I didn't want to kiss you, and then you wouldn't let me go.
So, told you I didn't want to kiss you, and you wouldn't let me go.
Haven't we already been over this? Like, you know, I feel horrible about that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force you to do something.
But you can't just act like you didn't do anything wrong.
That's the first thing I said to you. Like, like you said, I didn't do anything wrong in the sense of, like, anything illegal. And you know, in regards to the idea of us having sex. And that's all I was talking about. Not that between, that's why I said, obviously, between us, I know I made mistakes.
So that seems pretty clear. This is about a kissing incident, for sure, right?
About that, and it was only because I wanted to spend more time with you. I wasn't trying to force.
It's in response to the kissing stuff.
But you can't just act like you didn't do anything wrong.
That's the first thing I said to you. Like, like you said, I didn't do anything wrong in the sense of, like, anything illegal. And you know, in regards to the idea of us having sex. And that's all I was talking about. Not that between, that's why I said, obviously, between us, I know I made mistakes. And I feel horrible for them. Because I broke a boundary that I didn't realize I was breaking, and I feel awful.
You didn't realize you were breaking it? Me telling you that I didn't want to and that I was scared and not to grab me. That... Okay.
If you were like...
I'm getting raped in this game.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Like, obviously, like, after the fact, once I put you down, like, I realized what was happening. Like, there's a reason I put you down.
Because I was hitting you.
You might have been. I personally don't remember that, but you might have been.
Might have?
Rule it out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm gonna quickly for a bit.
I'm genuine when I say I do not remember that.
I'm sorry, I'm chilling. Okay, so I don't see a way that isn't about that's just about picking up. I don't see how that can just be about picking up. That's at least about kissing, if not about a full sexual interaction that's taking place some way, or like something past kissing. But that it's not the case that I can't say that's just about the picking up.
That was something she was not into, and she was like, she started like flailing around, I guess. But I mean, she also did that a lot without anything happening. She would like do that with her arm.
So we've gone from squirming to flailing. She's saying hitting.
I didn't think much of it.
That you did nothing wrong.
And then apparently, like, she has some like trauma with being picked up. I didn't know about. I felt bad about it. So that's essentially what it was. She used that, and at the same time talking about, from what I remember, we were also talking about prior what people were saying and how I was uncomfortable with this implication. around this time, um, this was after blackmail, so I was still trying to get it back. I believe her reasoning, even for talking about this, was reasons why I'm a shitty person, or why I don't deserve to be, why I deserve to have my life ruined or whatever. Why this is fine for her to do.
Well,
so
the conversation and the reason Anne is pressing you is because I'm talking to you about the event and not her. You're both talking about my interactions with you regarding that event. So it's not about you being a shitty person or not.
There are calls where she was trying to label me as a shitty person.
I'm certain there were, but I'm just telling you that's what that call was specifically.
Yeah. But the reason, that was something she always brought up when she was trying to describe me as a shitty person. I'm almost certain there's a recording of it out there. I remember it.
Legal standpoint.
Okay, who cares though?
And I was scared and that I didn't want to.
Wait, who cares if she was trying to convince you you're a shitty person?
In the sense of us having sex and...
What does that mean? Who cares? What does that change?
Are you re-listening to it or something?
Yeah.
He said that you did nothing wrong?
Anne asked inquisitively, he said that you did nothing wrong?
Well, in a legal standpoint.
And you respond saying, well, in a legal standpoint.
I was saying no and I was scared and that I didn't want to.
She's saying from a legal standpoint, I was saying no.
No, just in the sense of us.
And you respond.
No, I wasn't talking about you in this call.
Yes, that was about me.
No, I wasn't.
She says FPS in the voice call.
When?
Do you or do you not want to listen to these?
I don't, personally.
Okay, so then you will just have to take my word on it.
Okay.
You respond in regards to us having sex.
I don't think that. I'm pretty sure to say in regards to the idea of us having sex.
Do you or do you not want to listen to this? Because it sounds like to me you're trying to avoid addressing this again.
What do you mean?
Right.
Like,
you work on this video, right? You tell me how you want to come back to commentary. You say, it was fake. I didn't have sex with her. Please take that out of the video. You DM me a second time asking before deleting it and getting worried. You private your old response video.
Has been off. That's been off for a while.
Nope. It's recent because I had my team check. And we're like, oh, damn, it's down. And we made sure to download it because it was unlisted.
It was unlisted. I made it fully private.
And you made it fully private, yes.
Because I assumed it was already private. I went back and I realized it was still unlisted, so I privated it.
Right.
Obviously, if you're coming to commentary, would this or would this not be a matter of contention for many commentary channels?
Look, if that's how you want to fucking put it, whatever. But that's just not what happened. Okay, I'm going to stand on that. I'm not going to sit here and just be fine with this because, and look, I'm sorry for getting fucking snippy. Frankly, this is something that's been on my shoulders for a long time.
Okay, so here we go. He's biting back. Cameron's trying to bite back against Diesel here. Let's hear this.
The shit that she was saying about me, the things I had to, or I felt like at the time, I had to capitulate with, were things that I shouldn't have capitulated with, but I did because mentally I could not handle the release of that information. And that, because it was quite literally, still frankly is a death sentence to me. It's something I
So your family's okay with you being a statutory rapist? Because that's what this is. You crossed state lines. She's underage. You were 19.
I didn't cross state lines.
Yes, you did cross state lines. Did you drive up? Yes or no?
No, I drove with
She was
my
16.
family.
She was 16. He was 19. The age gap on its own actually is not that crazy at all. You know, ultimately, can 16-19 be bad? Yes. Can it be fine? Yes. It's going to depend. And 16 is... Kate, is that not that legal? No, that's not legal. 16 is not legal. Not federally. 18 federally. So if you travel or if you invite, in my country the legal age is 15. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. So in the US it's 18, and if you cross, that's the federal age. So if you do any electronic communications of an explicit nature, travel or invite someone between states, then you will be held to the 18 age of consent. Yeah, exactly. So it can be below it below 18 in some states. However, anything where it's interstate or using electronic communications is going to default to the federal law. So, Cameron is that is his little sticking point, his little problem here.
So now you're saying you drove with your family? That's different than what you told me before.
Plus, also there's allegations of physical coercion. So,
my family and I were staying there. That's not different. That's the same fucking thing I've said this entire time.
So you drove up from
Don't try to grill me on some bullshit, dude.
Into where you meet her, yes or no?
I later met her while I was staying in York. I didn't go there to meet her.
Okay, but did you cross state lines, yes or no?
Sure, but I was residing at that point in time.
Really? As a resident, you paid taxes there?
No, I don't pay taxes in Florida either.
Or I don't even know what you're saying, Starbash. You have to call it a definite felony.
Look,
or the
dude,
community tards.
The point is,
what?
It doesn't fucking matter. I don't even know why I'm having that conversation. It doesn't even fucking matter. Because it's not what happened, okay?
Well, the thing is you're asking me to change content on the
you know
basis of no evidence.
You don't
you
have
haven't
to.
provided it, and you've been lying. And you're still doing it.
The fuck have I been lying?
And you've gotten
it's the
on
age
my
of the
stream,
state it happens in. I don't think so. If you cross state lines, you've that fits the that's the traveling to meet a minor offense, whatever it's called. Traveling in interstate commerce for the purpose of engaging in a sexual act with a minor is a crime.
By the way, and you've maintained
a federal
it
crime
constantly through this entire thing. I went back through and I looked. Not once. You know, you're not a good liar, Cameron. You're not.
The fuck was I lying during this call specifically? I'm not playing this bullshit, dude. Don't even fucking...
Who?
Because...
You came to me. You came to me. Okay?
I felt comfortable coming with you because I've had this on my shoulders for a while. Okay?
Right? It doesn't matter if her parents approve the trip. It's him traveling. She wasn't traveling anyway. There was no trip to approve.
You don't have to change anything. I understand.
While this was all going on, right, back when it happened, you told me how conflicted you were and how heartbroken you were because of all the things that Dev has done for you as well. And I'm certain you did, right?
I did.
But you know what's very interesting? During that time when that happened, you told me a story about something that happened to someone in your family, of which Dev gave money for that. Now, maybe that event happened or didn't, right? But it's very interesting how these very horrible things seem to happen in your life and have some weird attachment.
You mean like a fake suicide attempt? You mean like possibly like a fake suicide attempt?
To this recent story that's going on. And it's constant.
No, you're a fucking asshole, dude. Actually, dude. You're actually a fucking asshole.
Don't you dare question my suicide attempt and molestation. Diesel, I got molested. I'm not too sure about that. That seems very convenient, Cameron. You're a fucking asshole, dude. You're a fucking asshole. How dare you question me?
Like...
That's interesting, because you know how many times you sat in call and glazed the shit out of me.
Is that how you take things? Can I not just like...
Yes, retard, you're a desperate snake trying to build rapport. Everyone sees it.
You know what, you don't have to change anything.
Look at the backtrack.
I was
being
frank with you. I understand.
Listen, you had this footage of Dev that you withheld for what? So that way you could get kudos with the fucking Reddit mods?
That wasn't for the Reddit mods, dude. You just... listen, not everything... I wasn't constantly thinking, oh, what's Diesel gonna think? That's not what was going on. Okay, this was like a
But
fucking
I bet
difficult...
you were thinking, damn, how could I save my ass? How can I keep this from getting out? How can I protect myself? Of course you would. Who wouldn't think that?
Probably. That's not like... But that didn't have to do with that at the time. You have to understand, at that point, there wasn't anything against me. Why would I keep it? If just to save my ass?
Why would I keep it? Yes, no shit. Yes, you're accused of raping a 16-year-old girl, retard. Yes, you keep the silver bullet evidence that proves your innocence. Yeah. Yes, you keep that. Are you crazy? Anyone believes you just deleted that? You're insane.
Against me at that point. Riddle me that.
Why would you keep it?
Riddle me that. Guys,
Why would you keep
there was nothing
this guy's
the right post in
this guy's
April?
got to go.
Yeah, why would I keep a call from mid-October when there was nothing against me at that point?
Right.
In mid-October. Cameron, for years people have called you this sweeper and personal assistant for Yandere Dev. Okay? For years, people have accused you of working with him.
Accused me of work. I did work with him.
Not in a professional capacity, to like cover for his stupid behavior.
I mean, I inadvertently did. In hindsight.
You inadvertently did?
I wasn't maliciously lying for him. That wasn't my prerogative.
Well, you certainly didn't want Allie to get some comeuppance on you. Or any of the people that were anti-dev.
I didn't trust Allie at first, yeah.
You didn't trust her until the end, and I don't blame you for that, but...
Like, I don't understand your point, and I'm honestly, like... It took a lot to, like, tell you what I told you.
I'm waiting for evidence that backs up your position.
Here, I'll look for it. I'm gonna need time. There's a lot.
He's got a really big, a comically big filing cabinet and library out back that he needs to just flick through. Okay, guys.
I'll look through my hard drive. I'll try to recover my other hard drive where that died. I still have it. I haven't recovered it. I will do anything I can. Honestly, I didn't come in here thinking you were gonna retract it. At the time, there was a point. There was a soft point where I was like, you know what? Yeah,
I hate the black screen.
Like I'm gonna want him to retract this, but then I like, because that was like initially.
The video
like,
did
okay.
really well, and you're like, damn, it won't matter.
No, that wasn't it. It was more so if I just like leave it, whatever. I don't care. Like this is I just didn't really have that guilty of a conscience. So I was just like, whatever, move on.
Cameron, you got to understand why I wouldn't trust you. You were lying in your response video about this exact thing. All right. You weren't honest and upfront with me about this exact thing throughout many of our calls. Okay. It was like pulling teeth. Right. Once it's finally out there and I post about it, oh, well, all the gloves are off. We have the call with Ann, or we have the group chat with Ann. That happens every single time through that entire thing. Nobody says that this event didn't happen. All right. And then you come to me a year later and say, hey, Diesel, it didn't happen. And I told you a lie.
Yeah.
And it seems like all of this happens to change at a really opportune time when you want to come to commentary, when you and I both know, knowing commentary's history, that this exact thing would string you up.
I don't know. It was more so. There was a lot to it.
Would you like Harley TBS talking about how you had sex with Ann now?
I don't give a fuck what Harley TBS says or thinks or does, frankly.
Really? Because you talk about Harley TBS quite a bit. You've like, mentioned him more than once in our calls.
Yeah, a couple times in our calls, because that's someone you and I both know in the community.
And it's somebody that's covered the Yandere Dev stuff.
It's also somebody I don't like.
Exactly. So you wouldn't like them covering that, would you?
I frankly don't care. I wouldn't like it. I just don't care about Harley.
Cameron gliding down a half-mile-long bookshelf in a wood-paneled library with marble floors just filled with XM.
Aha. Filled with CSAM. Wow. Thank you, Jim Lee, for the $5. Who'd you appreciate?
I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like anyone covering it. No shit.
Wow, wow, wow.
But it's not... Listen, you can choose not to believe me. I understand why you're grilling me. I get that.
But at the
you're
same time,
lying through your teeth.
You have to like. Okay.
Oh, guys, there's like so much more stuff I can show you. So, you know this guy? Do you know what this guy did? You know what this Cameron fella did? You know what this wacky fella did? He sent cease and desist letters to people that he wrote himself. He wrote some cease and desist letters himself and told him to stop defaming him, otherwise he's going to sue them.
Whether or not you believe me right now, say everything I'm saying is true. You understand why that infuriates me.
Absolutely. But you haven't given me a reason to trust you, and you've been nothing but a snake through the entire thing as far as I'm concerned. I can't believe I was so charitable to you before.
You have to understand where my position was. I regret my decisions. Absolutely. Absolutely. $1,000,000,000%. But I wasn't lying when I said I liked you as a content creator. I wasn't lying when I said I thought you, like, you know, when I was, I guess, as you put it, glazing you. I do, like, respect you. There's a reason I came to you for any of this. I respect you. Like, the reason I was kind of, I guess, scared at certain points, I'm sure
small dog behavior,
was because I respected you. I didn't want to, like,
please don't rate me. I'm just a small dog.
You know,
please don't
I guess your view of me on one hand, and on the other hand,
you know that lying was going to be 10 times worse than any alternative, right? Like, now I'm re-looking into this again.
Of course,
right? I'm bringing the
and I
hammer
knew
down.
this day would. I knew this day would eventually probably come, where I would have to tell you this. I just didn't know when. I felt like I'm in a better spot now. I feel like now that, like, I've been able to move on, there's a reason why this. I understand, like, oh, he's coming back to commentary. Oh, but da. Sure, I get that, and that, like, I won't lie, there's probably a correlation there. But at the same time, it's all because, as well, I'm feeling more comfortable coming back. I'm feeling more healthier. I've had time to process things. I've had time to get therapy. I've had time to get advice.
Dude, I wish I could show you this guy's suicide video, man. But sadly, he was like fucking 16, so you can't mock it openly. But it's like, it's such a it's so blatant. It's like, he's like, guys, yeah, I just went through something really tough. Yeah, I just, like, you know, I grabbed a belt and, you know. So, yeah, basically, guys, it was really traumatic for my family. It's, like, so fucking lame. It's crazy.
Because, I mean, you're not the first person I've told about the blackmail. It took a while. Like, if you think this is, like, my first time relitigating it to me, no. Like, it's been a lot of fucking therapy, you know? It's been a lot of time. Loved ones.
All the
talking with my
therapy,
girlfriend
you
about
know?
what happened. You know, a lot of shit. This didn't come, like, out of nowhere.
He's a changed man.
If I could change one thing, probably it would. Before I reached out to me, I would have gone through all the calls, but frankly, it's hard to go back to them for many reasons. Some of them I know are lost because she forced me.
She forced you through Discord to delete them? Under what?
Listen, I know at the time I felt forced, okay? I know it sounds ridiculous. At that time, I felt forced.
Yo, thank you so much for 5 gifted. So yeah, the reverse rate, he's forced, guys. He's been forced.
Some of them I know are lost because she forced me.
She forced you through Discord to delete them? Under what?
Listen, I know at the time I felt forced, okay? I know it sounds ridiculous. At that
it's just like there's more and more bullshit excuses coming out as he gets pressed. It's so just sickening to listen to. People were about to lap this guy's fucking dog shit videos up, man. So glad this came out. It's just so blatant. It's just so obvious.
Time I felt forced. You know what I mean? At that time, when you're hearing all of the things that you feel like, oh my god, this is like the worst thing imaginable in my head. That's what it was. It was the worst fucking thing imaginable. When you're hearing that like screamed at you, you feel like you have no option. You feel like this is the end of the world. You'll do things that you think that in hindsight feel fucking retarded. That feel like this is so backwards.
So
why did I
you
capitulate?
deleted calls because you told her that you were
what?
I feel like this is so backwards.
So
why did I
you
capitulate?
deleted calls because you told her that you were
You were what, Diesel? You were what?
So
why did I
you deleted calls because you told her that you were
First of all, I'm not getting into that with you. I'm not comfortable talking about that.
But that was the reason why, right? That was the dark secret you didn't want getting out there.
There's a lot more to it.
I'm certain there is.
And I don't like the way you put that, but I get you're being frank or whatever. A lot happened, and a lot of what happened is like
time to dump more personal info.
More so the details. That fucking haunt me.
And you told her the details about this.
Well, yeah.
Posting Mr. Girl on Liam Donovan.
I regret it. I wish I didn't.
Let's say I believe your story, right? You
give a
even
fuck.
telling her that story
It was a fucking dumb
insane for you
idea.
to
I
have done.
know. I know. It was dumb. I shouldn't have fucking told her. I felt comfortable.
And so you agreed to delete calls. You agreed to say that you had sex with her.
Dude.
I didn't care. I didn't care what the fuck it was, dude.
We got another old. This guy always crying, isn't he? This guy's always fucking crying. Always bad shit happens to this guy. He's always crying. Always seems to be when he's in a tough situation, too.
I'm not calling you a pedophile. You realize people will call you a pedophile for the rest of your life?
Good. Call me what the fuck you want. I know I didn't do it.
You would rather be called a pedophile than the alternative?
I didn't think of it like that at the time. I wasn't thinking of it like that. You have to understand.
I mean,
that is
like,
so...
put YouTube aside. Your fucking entire life could have been ruined.
I totally get that. I totally get that. But you have to understand critically that I was not thinking about that. I was thinking about, I was tunnel visioned on this one thing. I never wanted it out. I was unwell. You're not... Obviously, me and my rational mind now is like, what the actual fuck was I thinking?
No, he's totally healed.
After everything was said and done, why didn't Anne just release it anyway? Like, the video was out. Everybody had known everything. Everybody thought Anne was a piece of shit. And she just chose not to release that?
I
not
don't
like
know.
her. She's very vindictive.
There's certain things about her that she definitely is willing to capitulate with some things. She feels very, I guess, we were able to end our relationship, I guess, on like, it was like fine terms, but like it definitely wasn't like positive. I don't know why she didn't release it. A part of me wonders if, like, she definitely had it. I don't doubt that she had it. I heard parts of it. She definitely had something. I don't know, dude. But I capitulated a lot for her not to do it.
Dude.
You agreed to an insane thing, if that is the
I
case.
fucking know.
Like,
You think I don't
It's
know
almost
that?
like, wow,
man?
it's almost
and
like it's not
without
true.
you having a clip
did you
to,
say?
to an insane thing, if that is the
I
case.
fucking know.
Like,
You think I don't know that, man?
And without
Oh,
you
well, I thought you
having
said
a clip to, I just have to take your word on it, and I can't. Okay.
I understand. And look, and
it looks to
that's
me,
something,
having been in this space for a while, that you came to me because you didn't like how that was out there. Because that's what it looks like right now.
I don't like how that's the narrative that people have to accept, because I made
show
a
your evidence
really
then.
dumb choice. It sucks, but
it's not the most obvious lie ever told. That's like every lie this guy tells.
So what?
I want to do the suicide video
It's gonna
so
have to
bad.
be, I guess, unless I find the recording. I just mainly the reason I ended up continuing.
Guys, we've got an hour on the goal. Hit goal, and I'll do it on kick. Okay.
Because I was gonna cancel. The reason I ended up doing
I'm not gonna watch the full
because I
video
just
and laugh
wanted
at it,
you
but I'll
to
go
know.
over just the basics. Okay.
I wanted someone to know.
Well, you said you spoke to another.
Thank you for the
There's someone
$5,
who got
I see. Hugely appreciate. Thank you.
Like, I mean, they get it, but it just sounds like goofy fucking internet drama to them.
The 5 monk. Thank you. Hugely appreciate.
So it was
Like
like,
with
an IRL person.
Let's go.
My therapist, and then my girlfriend.
Thank you for the 5, Joe Savage. Hugely appreciate.
Fearless
Thank you so
Kuihman.
much.
But I mean, beyond that, I mean, it's not something I really volunteer. Any of it. I
Spell
think.
summon coin. Seek tribute.
I
use my turn to seek
I'm sorry
tribute.
for raising my voice and stuff. I'm not. I don't want to make an enemy or be a dick or anything. I just this obviously has been weighing on me for a long time. Blackmail.
The belt calls.
Everything.
Thank you
to
for the
do
5, Hick Fury. Hugely appreciate.
with the things she said, the things she wanted to do to me, the things that she tried to do to me, things she probably successfully got done to me. I think that was her goal, was to have this dirty shit out about me that she wanted because she had her reasons, I guess.
Thank you for the 5 Yummy Prismo. Thank you for the 5 Pat Back.
I don't understand it.
Everyone we really
Thank you
need
for the
is our
$29.99 Crantic. Thank you.
smile.
Thank you.
I don't understand why that was so important to her. I haven't stopped thinking about that, you know? Why? Why? You get me?
I hear you.
I understand that there were definitely times in the past where I was not honest with you.
Nobody was
and-
honest in that story, so of course I'm not gonna. You know, it's you come to me and you say something incredible.
Can you give me just 2 moments? I'm gonna wash my fucking face.
Dude. What? Dude. What?
Yeah.
What is happening?
With you?
I couldn't hear you. You cut out for a second.
Oh, in hindsight, I definitely wish I was more honest, with you. But this is a bed that I'm gonna take responsibility that I chose to lay in because I complied.
Just like raging
With,
out, having a
I guess,
Kyle
her demand.
moment, smashing the drywall, mid-call with Diesel. Dude.
Which was a dumb fucking decision. But that's the route that happened. And I want to stress again, I wasn't expecting you to delete it. I asked at that one point, because I was like, oh, it's being relitigated. And I was like, you know what, that's silly to expect him to do.
I wouldn't do that. You know?
This is what I do. And there are not other drama tubers out there that know as much as me.
I know that, yeah.
So if anybody was going to say something...
Yeah. Again, man, I do apologize for raising my voice.
It's fine. I'm a New Yorker. Do you think I care?
Hey, he's walking there.
Listen, either way, you're just gonna need to get that to me. Period.
Okay.
Like this just if you don't have anything, then you don't have anything, and it is what it is, you know?
I will look for it. I don't well, I do want you to believe me, but obviously. But I don't expect you to, I guess.
Listen, I might be first on the jump, but you know, man, those people in the drama you've inserted yourself into. Okay, some of them got nothing but time on their hands.
I know.
And they'd publish your docs, they'd publish your real name.
Oh, go ahead, honestly. Nothing new there. Already happened. Been there.
Do you think maybe it might be a good idea to get hold of some of that evidence you have that supposedly exonerates you in the claims of rape, so that those people may believe you? Just an idea, I don't know.
Bringing. I mean, outside of comprehensive notes, like whatever Dev got, you could get tenfold. That's like how insane this drama is.
You're still flicking through the file cabinet, okay?
I mean, look, I feel like, sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained right now.
It's so fake. It's so fake that it's just like so fucking fake. It's like so transparent. It's anyone who thought you're like below. You're significantly below normal functioning. The functioning of the average person, you're significantly below it if this works on you seriously.
There's something you said that
Spinal wood fall first, that's true.
It was like, oh, miraculous or whatever. I think I forget. You said miraculous things always explain whatever. Those two things that happened, like with Dev helping me out financially, that was true. And that
true, they can be true. I'm not saying they're not true, right? But I have seen in drama when people have their backs against the wall, all of a sudden appeals to emotion like that come out. Oh, this happened and it was really bad. And I've been really struggling since. Or this happened. Right? And I've been going through a dark place.
Oh, yeah, Mini Lad was... I'm suicidal, guys.
Right? So I hear that all the time. So if I sound like I'm callous to it, you know
what?
Just not the first person who's said that to me.
Yeah.
You weren't then and you're not now.
And I get that. Yeah, totally. It was... I'm not lying to you. I can tell you that. But I understand where you are, and I'm gonna try to get the recordings to you. I'm gonna try to find them. I will do anything I can. The thing is, I just don't want another video about it. Like, at all. If I give you those recordings, they stay between us.
Right.
Really, it depends on how it's going to absolve you or not.
Sure, they're coming any day now.
What do you mean?
Yeah, when you get those recordings from his evidence folder.
Does Cameron have what he says he claims to have, or does he not? Right? Because this is my job. When you speak to me, you know what you're getting into. All right, like everybody knows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And frankly, there's a lot of people that are looking at the Dev stuff. I've been re-looking at it. Right?
Yeah, it is one of those weird things. It's one of those rare things that just kind of pop in your head every once in a while, isn't it? Like, oh,
Again,
fuck,
try
that's
and
the
build
thing.
rapport. Try to smooth things over.
Peter Griffin underground base. That's where the evidence is.
Thank you for the $5. Huge appreciate.
And like professionally, that video is 3 hours long. All right, I know I did a good job.
Yeah,
so I can shorten
think,
what I said.
Yeah.
If there's an update, then there's an update, and the only reason I'm doing this is because you came to me.
Mm-hmm.
So the die is cast. Like,
my condition is preferably no more video, but I want no details about what happened to me.
Like I said, I don't need to do that.
Out there ever. I'm fucking begging you. Like, that is
like I don't need to do that. Did I ever the thing that you told me that Dev gave you money for? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did I include that in the video? No. Did I include it in the calls? No.
I appreciated that. That was a fucked up time.
Right? But like outside of that, you can't really make demands. Especially when you don't really have anything to give me.
Yep. Bring the fucking evidence, retard.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just I'm more so saying that because I think if I really looked, I could probably find it. Yeah. Because I genuinely do not think I deleted that. I feel like I put that in a fucking separate folder just in case. I thought I had my I's dotted and T's crossed on that.
I know more calls in here.
If I ever needed it for a lawyer, or whatever. Yeah. But yeah. I mean,
No. Apparently, this guy's like ex-MTF. This guy's like a detransitioner or something.
That's all I have for now. That's all I can tell you is that probably will make an update. Probably will do another video on it. There's a lot of people that are looking at it and saying whatever the fuck they want.
That's what Diesel claimed. Diesel said he showed him his estrogen.
You know, my video is 3 hours long. I'm not going to tell people, hey, sit down and watch a 3 hour long video.
Are you include this in it?
I don't know what I will or won't include. I'm definitely not going to let the
Wasn't Diesel joking around then? No idea. He said he saw his estrogen. I got no idea.
I mean, I'm not asking that. I prefer this specific call not be included.
Why is that?
I got emotional, a little personal, and I guess part of me is still a little afraid.
Listen, what you said you don't want out there, I won't put in, but I can't offer any more. And I'm not going to sit here and nickel and dime on whether or not what I am or am not going to include. A lot of things get dropped before they reach it to the video, so I can't even tell you what I will or won't include. Really depends what else comes up. I'm going to pull on some other strings and see what happens, so.
Okay.
But
well, listen, man, it's been real. Not real fun. It's been real. I want to be brief a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you listening to me. I'm sorry again that I got a little heated. Just I guess hearing someone tell you to your face that what happened to you didn't happen to you. I don't know.
You're denying my rape.
Really. Especially like with all the fucking time I've taken to like get to a point where I'm comfortable telling you.
Send this one up to the big guy Hassan. He'll
nerve.
tell me whether this happened or not.
Look, it is what it is. Either way, I'm giving you homework. So hopefully you find it. And I'll leave you to decompress for the evening.
All right. Have a good night, dude.
Wow. So apparently we've got an archive of the stream where they first met as well.
I'm sorry to hear that. What is the context for you're very skinny and that's kind of hot and Mother Nature sexualizes? I think that there are questions about.
Yeah, this is
I've just been given.
I thought it was in real life, but I guess not. Wow. Well, that's. I think that's most of the Cameron stuff, to be honest. Guys, remember, if you want the extra content, you have to hit goal. Okay? So, I guess last night, I've never watched the op block. I don't know who these people are, to be honest. I know their commentary. I like know some of the commentary people. I think we watched like maybe one clip. I recognize the overlay and stuff. But apparently they had Cameron on last night. CameronF305. And they trolled him a little bit. They did a little bit of trolling and had Diesel come in and question him. So they kind of gay upped him and pretended that they were there to talk about the video, to review the video, and then Diesel comes in.
Pinged. Hold up 1 second. I apologize. Huh.
Wind it back a little bit.
To say, in a way?
Yeah.
Have you, like, in your life, right? Because it sounds like you understand iDubbbz, you're really understanding a lot of just, you do have a percentage in your head. In your own life, do you feel like at any time, like, you were ever controlled to do something? Like some way that you can empathize with... No, but seriously, like, any like, time that you feel like you can empathize with iDubbbz? Because it sounds like you do empathize with him.
To a certain extent. I don't feel bad for him these days.
Yeah.
But there was periods of my life where I was definitely manipulated and controlled into doing things I probably wouldn't have otherwise done. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I see.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Nah,
but,
yeah.
No comment. No further comment.
No further comment on it? Oh, no further comment. Brother, listen, we are a chill stream here. You know what? Everyone calls me the soy Italian here. Do you want to know why they call me that? Because
Why do they call you that?
Every time somebody fucking comes up here, I'm like the nicest motherfucker to this guy, like ever. Like, I'm always nice. People find it very off-putting. They're like, oh, you're like you have like way too much emotional intelligence, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, it's just what we do here. I find that it's much better to be upfront and honest. You know, so if you feel like,
right,
yeah,
no, I agree with you. It's just that whole situation. I mean, we touched on it earlier.
Yeah,
it's like a can of worms. I'm still like
processing it.
It's still more so like moving past. Like that's kind of like something that is, you know, I'm getting past it, and I feel like it's time to let it go.
It's time to let it
and for my sanity, and I have been able to, and I knew like when I released it would come up, but like, you know, it's just shit that like
it's so crazy. This act is so crazy. When he knows he's called Diesel in the last couple of days, begging to get that bit of the video removed. He's like, yeah, I've moved past it. Shut up, you fucking snake.
I'd rather not.
You'd rather not like engage with.
Right.
It's like
waste of energy.
Yeah, I think it is a waste of energy. I think like if you're trying to move on, I guess like how do I say this? Because again, I guess people are gonna ask you, are you gonna make, like I did? I asked you if you're gonna make a video. Like, what do you think the best way to move on from like that part of your life is? Do you think that, you know, some people do like some fucking people do the twit longer shit, and that's fucking gay. Some people like make a video on it, like we discussed before. Some people just say, hey, I don't want to engage in it. Some people are just like, listen, you bring it up. I'll make the same statement continually and over. Like, what is a really good way that you would want to move on with it?
Well, I've actually already done some of those things. Like, I made a video after I released like the rest of the music that I hadn't gotten to when the whole controversy happened, and
because like there was like a vinyl rollout and everything, and I talked about, yeah, I'm quitting. I have quit. I just released the rest of my music. I'm moving forward, yada yada, and that was kind of that. I hadn't talked about it, touched on it for I think like 6, 7, 8 months, and yeah, that was that.
Why am I getting pinged? Hold up 1 second. I apologize. Huh.
Why am I getting pinged? I've got no idea what's going on here. I've got no... Oh, we're just having a casual conversation. Why am I being pinged in Discord? Nice acting, bro. Nice acting. Almost as good as Cameron's.
You're here. I just got pinged with something.
What's up?
I'm gonna bring it on screen just so you're aware.
Okay.
There's a video here that I have. It is called The Aftermath of Yondev CameronF305 by FPS Diesel.
Interesting.
I mean,
is this new?
Brand new. That's what I just got pinged with. Do you want to watch it?
Not really.
You don't want to watch because I'm going to react to you. Why don't you want to watch it?
It's just not something I feel like I should engage with.
Why don't you want to engage?
I can't. Not always a huge Diesel fan, but he's kind of mocking with the pose here on the opening of the video as Cameron's squirming to get out of it.
I'm curious.
It's like I said earlier, it's not worth the energy or time.
It's not worth the energy or time. Is it because there's something in this video that you wouldn't like getting out?
I don't like. If it's there, it's there. I mean, it's like it's something.
If it's there, if what's there, it's there. If what's there, Cameron.
Like this is all shit from my teenage years. Like
your teenage years. Okay, because I mean, you said by the time of it, if I remember correctly, you were 19, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went from 15 to 19. It was a good 4 years of my life.
Yeah. So
I'm just like, it's over.
It's over. So if it's over, let's get over with. You know, listen, I'm not
like I appreciate your show, man, and I understand. But it's just really not something I'm like willing to engage with. You know?
Okay. You're not willing to engage with it because you want to move on, or you're not willing to engage with it because you feel like it's not necessary. Like, listen, I'm just asking.
Both.
Okay. So you don't want to engage with it at all?
No, it's just like, why? You know? It's like, if I spend my time engaging with, like, shit from years ago, like, I feel like we're moving in circles here.
No, I do apologize if we're moving in circles. I'm just trying to figure out why, for instance, you wouldn't want to engage with something that is about you by someone who's covered you in the past. I guess that's my big thing. Is just like something because I know this person has covered you.
How are you going to be content cop? How are you going to be content cop if you can't respond to this fucking video?
Right.
Oh.
Well, Cameron.
What's up, Diesel?
Interesting that you don't want to watch it.
Why would I mean, you're a YouTuber, you know this better than most. Why would I, like, engage with this kind of shit?
You know, the thing is that you've been saying that this entire drama, and I really do think that you do not want this to get talked about. I really don't think you do. Now, honestly, the onus is on you. I just want you to provide evidence of that, okay? Because you tried to pressure me into taking out a part of my video.
I did not. I made that very clear to you in private.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did it twice.
Whoa, before you two keep arguing. Hey, wait. Before you two keep arguing, I'm going to need proof of that shit. Right now. I'm going to need proof of it
I mean, I recorded my side of it, but...
Well, no. If there's a text, if there's an...
of that, okay? That you do not want.
Better than most. Why would I, like, engage with this kind of shit?
You know, the thing is that you've been saying that this entire drama, and I really do think that you do not want this to get talked about. I really don't think you do. Now, honestly, the onus is on you. I just want you to provide evidence of that, okay? Because you tried to pressure me into taking out a part of my video.
I did not. I made that very clear to you in private.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did it twice, right?
Whoa, before you two keep arguing. Hey, wait, before you two keep arguing, I'm going to need proof of that shit. Right now. I'm going to need proof of it
I mean, I recorded my side of it, but...
Well, no. If there's a text, if there's an audio recording, I
made it extremely clear to him in private that if he wanted to leave it in the video, that's fine. I was going to try to find whatever we were talking about. I'm not going to get into it because, first of all, it's a private conversation. And second of all, that's very personal shit that we were talking about in regards to, like, the proof that I was going to send him.
Okay.
We talked about it. I told him that there was no pressure to remove anything, and I wouldn't blame him for not removing anything.
You know, the crazy part is, chat, that right after my call with Cameron, right, this very serious call, Cameron goes on an interview, right, a little later that evening with Food Shops.
Yeah.
Which I thought...
yes. This was a key. I missed this part of the story for you guys. Sorry, I totally forgot. This slipped my mind like an idiot. Cameron, yeah, jumped on a stream with Food Shops. I did an interview with Food Shops. Classic Kuihman live stream character, Food Shops. And went on their live stream and did the whole interview. And Food Shops was like trying to defend this person to morale. And apparently Cameron lied to Food Shops about the ages and shit. In private. It's very funny stuff.
It was hilarious. Cameron, are you familiar with Food Shops history?
No, I have no idea.
No, that's hilarious. I'm sure Chad will be happy to provide that information to you.
What happened with Food Shops?
Okay, and before that, you're here running like defense for yourself in Diorio's Discord, saying like, "Oh, Diesel got some things wrong, this, that, and the other thing." Then when I pressure you on it, you don't provide it. You're like, "Oh, I can't find it. Oh, just give me some time to look for it." Right? I give you some time, and I got to be honest. I don't think you're gonna go look for it. I'm willing to admit that it's, you know, it's you haven't gotten it yet, and you can go find it. But
well, first of all, I haven't had the time. This was like a couple days ago. I'm in class. I was in a 7-hour class today. Okay, I have shit going that I'm working on.
So you have time to do glazing interviews and
guys,
sit.
You don't understand. He has a comedic, a like infinite library. But he has this one ladder, not on wheels, and he has to wheel it along, climbs up, he checks through all these little hard drives and stuff. He's like, "Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one?" It's one of these. And he gets back down, and he pushes the ladder along a little bit. He goes out, he checks all the shelves, he looks on that one. And so it's going to take a while, Diesel. Yes, it's going to take a few trips.
Everybody's chat that's reacting to you, but you don't have time to
I mean,
find
I got a million fucking mentions
that would
on my Twitter.
You. Okay, get off of Twitter and start looking for the fucking audio. I don't understand.
Which can I ask, because I don't know enough. What audio are we talking about?
This is something that was talked about between us in private. That I was going to try to get to him. Dude. And if I couldn't find it, because there was a lot of shit that was happening during that time where I was being. I'm not even going to get into it.
I mean, what? Can you at least?
It's not worth my time.
Can you at least explain what it is? Because I'm going to be honest. It's not worth
my time.
If it's not worth your,
listen. It is not worth my time. Okay. I got other things I'm working on, so I'm going to get to that. Okay. You guys have a great stream, and I'm out.
Oh,
dude,
what it is, because I'm going to be honest.
It's not worth my time.
If it's not worth your,
listen. It is not worth my time. I got other things I'm working on, so I'm going to get to that. Okay. You guys have a great stream, and I'm out.
Oh,
hey, Ryan.
Hello, chat. Hi, Diesel.
Oh my God. What a brilliant set of audio that you've gotten from Cameron tonight.
Let's see. Adults are completely in control of their own actions, and minors can't control them.
Interesting.
Nobody controls him. Interesting. Hi, Cameron. If you're seeing this, by the way, hi. My name is Falgi.
Okay. Wow, cool stuff. Funny little moment there.